Grand Rising, check in, let us know where you're hailing from. It's so good to see everybody. Welcome. Today is Monday, February the 3rd, 2025, and the time is 12:19 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Check in, family. Grand Rising, happy new day, joyous rising, grand rising, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, depending upon where you're hailing from. So today I thought I'd talk about something just a little different. We all know I love talking about politics and what's going on in the geopolitical landscape, as well as what's going on financially and economically, not only here in America, but all over the world. And if you know me on a personal level, you know I love talking about precious metals. I love everything about silver and gold, but silver is probably what I like most because silver is significantly undervalued, it's inexpensive, and it has a lot of purposes, including industrial purposes. So I love talking about precious metals, and I was an affiliate with the precious metals company, Miles Franklin Precious Metals Company, which is a very reputable company. Another thing that I really enjoy talking about is family and family values. I enjoy talking about family values because I understand that in order to become a strong, healthy society, you have to be a strong, healthy individual because strong, healthy societies are built upon strong, healthy communities, and strong, healthy communities are built upon strong, healthy families. And then, of course, a strong, healthy family depends upon you being a healthy individual. Well, I thought I would come on and talk today about how we women are really going to have to understand and understand why we need our counterparts. And that's why I titled this podcast, The Time Will Come When Ladies Will Need the Very Men That We Claim to Despise. Now, there's a reason why I said that, but keep checking in, family. I see you all from all over America saying, God bless you. I see you, William, saying, I look beautiful as usual. Thank you. And that's why I was late, William. I said, if I want to come on here and talk about how we ladies need to be mindful of our manners, our behavior, and our energy, and I'm going to, maybe bring a little correction. I better come here looking cute because the sisterhood will drag me. The sisterhood will drag me if I talk about how we need men and how we should be sweet and pleasant and feminine if I'm looking like a vagabond and a ragamuffin. So I understand code. So sisters, I did my best to make sure I represent us well, making sure I'm presentable. The hair is done, putting little waves in it, got the makeup on, but not too much. Still have my signature Indian, so to speak, garb because I am indigenous and still have my gold and silver on because that's who I am. So thank you so much for recognizing that I took a little time to make sure I looked pretty today or presentable. Hello, Priscilla. It's good to see you. Grand Rising, Crystal. And I see Michael's in the house and Kelly as well. Thank you all for checking in. So many of you are here. Serena is here. Babo is here from Florida, from Jacksonville, from Duval. Somebody said that United Airlines plane caught fire in Houston, Texas yesterday. I saw that. I said, I want to talk about something different because I'm always talking about what's going on in the world geopolitically. Thank you, Queenie says I'm always beautiful. Grand Rising to you all. What's happening, Serena? Oh, I got to tell you, sister. Okay. Wholeness and vibration to you too, Goddess and Sister Lisa. Thank you. Tremarian, thank you so much. It's good to see all of you here. Dawn is here. Dudley saying I look pretty. Thank you. Sister Inez is in the house. Lena is here. Coco is here. El Bruno is here. And so many of you that are checking in. I may not be able to call your name one by one as we get into the podcast, but I will try to acknowledge you. It looks like my internet is having a few issues. Let me know that you guys can hear me and see me. And before we continue on, I want to say I appreciate all of you that support the channel and support my work. And I appreciate the comments the energy, the attentiveness, and the intel that you all bring. Also, I appreciate you all for the monetary blessings. And I just want to call you out, some of you who have donated to me during the weekend, over the weekend. Peter Kirksey, Jamie Conrad, Priya Chandra, Deborah Honore, Brian Ashby, Theo Wofford, all of you, thank you so very much. I appreciate the gratitude. Natasha, HBKLK, thank you. Bridget has been very generous again. Deb Hill, thank you for the Cash App blessing. Jonathan Harrison, Ernest Hooks, and Michael George, I saw you in the comment section. Kimberly, Beautiful Max Ministry, that's our Chief Mac, J. Cole, Maxine, and Blondell. I appreciate your generosity and expressing your gratitude by sending me a monetary gift. So thank you so much. Grand rising to those of you who are just coming in. Yeah, my color fades from pink to like a tannish gold color. And I don't know why that is. The background here in my dining area is like a peaches pink color, very feminine color. And I don't know if that's why the lighting changes, because maybe it has something to do with the background. But I'll try to fix that. I don't know what to do to correct that. So thank you for bringing that to my attention. Family. Like I said, I enjoy talking about communities, family life, the roles of the family, why we need family, family values as well. In fact, I wanted to do a whole channel dedicated to family values. And while some people are grateful for me speaking about family values, I actually get a lot of flack from women when I talk about femininity, elegance, grace, family values, and being a support to a husband and being very supportive to the children. And it really surprised me that I would get a lot of flack and backlash from some of the women who will claim that I'm taking women back to the 1960s, or I'm taking them back to the Stone Ages. And women will come to my channel, or whenever I even present podcasts on femininity and family values, excuse me, they will say things disparagingly like, that's not going to stop a man from cheating on you, and these men have no accountabilities. And then, men, they would write whole paragraphs about how good, no good men are, and men are bad, and men are, evil, and the patriarchy is something that needs to be dismantled. And I'm like, hey, I'm just trying to talk about being elegant and graceful and sweet and pleasant. And I just came to talk about how that could contribute to having a family where your husband honors you and is empowered to go out and provide for you and protect you. And I'm presenting this information so that we can restore our families for the sake of the children. So that's why I haven't been speaking that much on family values and femininity and elegance and grace. But on my Rumble channel, you will see a whole line of videos where I'm speaking about it. Thank you so much for the Cash App blessing. I appreciate you all for support that support my work. And that was, who was that? Oh, Julie Davis. Thank you, sister. You're so sweet. If you look on my Rumble channel, rumble.com, Dr. Kia Pruitt, you can put my name there. You will see that I have a whole list of challenges. Maybe in the search engine part of the Rumble channel, you can put elegance or grace or family or something like that. And you will actually see all the videos where I talked about family values. Well, what made me decide to come on today to talk about how we women will come to need the very men that we claim to despise is that the other day I had on a very well-renowned gentleman who is highly acclaimed, very respectable in the Moorish community and just in the community at large, because he has a doctorate in jurisprudence and because he understands and understands American history. And he discusses what the empire, the Moorish Empire or America looked like before we had like mass immigration to come here, and how it has changed over the years with the liberal movement and with people coming from all over the country, taking the resources of the American people here. He talks about how the whole landscape in America has changed, where you can't even tell who's who because there's so many people here, and all the resources are going out to different communities and to their countries. And so he talks about how now with this new administration, he said it during the first Trump administration, he talked about it in the Biden administration, and he talked about it the other day, how with President Trump coming back online as the commander in chief, we can see the whole administration with the Grand Army of the Republic behind him. Some people would say in front of him, returning America back to its former glory and how the Republic is being restored. He did an amazing podcast, family. And most people were very, very grateful for the podcast that he did. And most people explained that they appreciated it. Here is that podcast here. If you get a chance, you will see it is called Return to Royalty, the End of Corporate Enslavement and Return to Glory. And here he did a phenomenal job talking about American history. Please go back and watch that. He dropped so many jewels that most people said they had to watch the video several times. Well, at one point in our discussion, Asir, the Duke of Tears, who is also a sheikh, a master teacher, a scholar, a counselor, an instructor, a father, a husband of one wife who's been married for many decades, and a person who is seen as a wise elder in the community, talked about how we needed both male and females. And he talked about how we not just needed both males and females to conduct a home and to raise the children and to have a viable society and a functional, healthy society. But he said we need both for procreation. And he said, you don't just need a woman to procreate, you need both the man and the woman. And some, he said, would even say that the man is actually the creator. And he was speaking from his philosophical ideas, from his study, from his lectures, and just from his wisdom and his knowledge. Keep checking in, family. Well, once he said those things about family values and about how we need both men and women, the sisterhood took the liberty in the comment section and in the chat to go off. We saw it was so much chatter that it almost seemed like they were trying to overshadow the gems that he was talking about when he was saying that we were being returned back to our republic. The sisterhood, the ladies, many of the ladies went off. They started saying, we don't need men. Men are no good. Men are disrespectful. Men don't take accountability. He's taking women back to the Stone Ages. Dr. Kia Pruitt hates women. She won't speak up for the sisterhood. She's sitting there allowing him to speak about how we need families and how it was the men who destroyed the home. I mean, these women went off for more than 30 minutes. And I saw the comments, but I didn't bring anything up to the screen. I just let them go off in the comment section because, they wanted to share how they were feeling. But I said to myself, I need to talk about this situation that we have going on in our society in America. Let me do something right quick. I'm sorry, I was supposed to send a link to someone to let them know we're online. I said, I want to say something about this because I often get this, kind of like offhanded, snide remarks whenever I mention family, whenever I mention femininity, softness, or anything that deals with a woman operating in her feminine nature. And I try to overlook it, but I said, you know what? Women don't understand how serious these times are that we live in. First of all, excuse me. First of all, this is the way I grew up. Okay, I'm an elder. People say I should, some women say never say your age, and men say don't be ashamed to say your age. Listen, I'm 56 years old. I'll be 57. I'm approaching 60, darling. Okay. I'm Generation X. I'm from old school times. Okay. When I was growing up, awesome. When I was growing up, you didn't challenge men, and you never challenged a man. Okay. Not in private or in public. This is how we were trained. Yes, trained. And some people will say, train like a dog, train like children. Women aren't trained. No, we were trained how to be feminine, how to be women, how to be elegant, and how to be graceful. And we were trained how to deal with and have relationships with men, whether they were your husbands or not. So, one second. Hold on one second. We have a special guest that's in the chat. Hold on. Hi, Chief Mac. How are you, my darling?
Greetings, Dr. Kia and family. Thanks for having me. This is
You're welcome.
something that's dear to my heart when it comes to family. This is something near and dear to my heart, and you and I talk about it often about family.
Yes. Before you give your spiel, may I finish this one part of it, Chief
Go ahead.
Mac?
Huh?
So we were trained that you never challenge a man. Okay. Now I know we live in a society where women feel that you're equal to a man. You can say whatever you want. You can pop off. You can present yourself any old type of way. We were trained that you never challenge a man. First of all, we were trained that you're not equal. And what I mean by that is you're not equal in stature. You're not equal in physical build. Men are stronger naturally, physically, and men have a different way of thinking. So you do not challenge men. If you have a question or you disagree, then you may ask a question. You say, okay, I hear what you're saying, brother. I have a question. May I ask you a question? And this is the way I felt like when Brother Asir, the Sheik, came to my platform to speak, how we should have approached some of the things that we didn't understand and say, brother, okay, well, what about this? May I email you in private and ask you a question? But instead, some of the women in the comment section were challenging him in a very rude, mean, and disrespectful manner. So we were taught you don't challenge a man. If you have a question, you ask him at home or you ask in private. And we were trained that you do not challenge elders. Anybody that's older than you, number two, that has more years on you. And thirdly, you do not challenge an expert who also can be classified as an elder. An expert or an elder is someone that has wisdom, knowledge, understanding, information that they're bringing to the family in order to help us. You don't challenge them. You don't approach them disrespectfully. You watch your tone. You even watch your eye gaze. That's the way we were trained. And you watch the way you speak to them, not just your tone, but the words you use. You don't cuss at them. You don't use confrontational words. You be mindful. So when I saw the ladies in the comment section cussing, yelling, screaming, going off, and I could tell it was screaming, the all caps letter, saying, obviously, you haven't heard about parthenogenesis and women can procreate by themselves. So why are you saying we need men? I'm wondering, do women need professional counseling? Because the way we have been going off on social media and on other people's platforms, when they bring their guests and you just talk to them rudely, disrespectfully, and mean, when I was growing up, men didn't hit women, but we understood that if he did, you wouldn't survive. Okay. Men don't even approach other men the way we ladies approach men. We got to do better. Men know, and they taught me this. See, I was trained. I had a father. He and my mom weren't together, but he still trained me. I had uncles. I had brothers and brothers-in-laws and pastors and, the grandfathers and just male friends and men in the community. And even men on social media who try to teach us and tell us what's right and what's appropriate, and we just will not hear it. And then we wonder why the community and society is in the position that it's in. So men If they have a disagreement, they don't pop up off the mouth. And I'm gonna be quiet in a minute because Chief is here. They don't challenge them. They don't start coming at them crazy and sideways because they understand and understand. Hey, it's gonna be a gunfight up in here. Somebody's not gonna make it alive because the masculine principle is not only to explore, but it's to provide and protect, and it's to correct. It is to correct by any means necessary. So a man will approach another man in such a way that it's respectful because he knows that if I'm disrespectful, somebody's going to come out of here hurt or unalive. So we ladies really need to be mindful because while we're popping off at the mouth, the way things are moving right now in this society economically, you're going to need a man. And the way we're doing away with DEI programs, diversity, equity, and inclusion, all these programs, welfare benefits, food stamps, AFDC, how those being taken away, and gave us the liberty to be able to leave a man and leave our husband so we can take care of ourselves. And I know people will say, oh, but women are getting abused by men and women are getting cheated on. And we needed these programs and these opportunities to leave these men. And I get that. And I understand and understand. I understand. And Chief is going to speak on that. But the other thing that Grant, the Sheik taught us, I see the Duke of Tears, is men need to stay out of women's spaces and let the women deal with the women. Y'all didn't hear that. But even when we elderly women, wise women come on and try to train or teach or advise or counsel the women, it's the women that will pop off. And even if you try to go talk to the younger women, it's their mothers that will tell them, you don't have to be feminine. You don't have to be elegant. You don't have to be graceful. You don't need a man. You need to go out here and explore. You need to have a lot of sex partners. You need to go and have a whole phase. You need to go off to college and go traveling and visit, and you need to get these men for their money. It's the women teaching these young girls that. And now they have such a high body count and they have so many genetic codes and DNAs all up in their body. And they've dealt with so many men and have so many psychological issues and so much trauma and abuse because you sent them out into the world and told them it was okay to act like this. They're not marriageable. And that's why men are turning women away. And that's why they're going abroad and becoming passport brothers. They want women in their own country. They desire, I'm talking about white men, black men, whatever you want, any man, they desire their own kind. They prefer American women, but we have become unhinged. And even when a brother says something positive, like let the women deal with the women will still be in the comment section popping off. And even when they say women, elderly women, go and train the younger ones, and we do that, it's the women. It's the women who have become unhinged. It's gotten so bad that even content creators, married women, women who love teaching other women how to be married are saying, I can't do this anymore. I'm going to stop. Because women are coming after me. And these women that have been married, some of them been married 2 or 3 times and saying, look, I did it wrong. Now I'm doing it right. Some of them have been married all their lives and the women will come after them. And I'll be quiet. Chief Mac, thank you so much for joining us. I love you and I appreciate the masculine perspective and energy that you bring to the family, the wisdom and the knowledge. What say you on this podcast, on this subject?
Thank you for having me, Dr. Kia. I can speak from my perspective. You know, growing up in the main streets of Gary, Indiana, I was a '70s baby. I'll be 54 in this summer, and I was fortunate enough to have a mom and a dad. They were married. So
okay.
The problem that's going on with most, and let me speak, guys. America really has this problem as a whole more than any other nation. Okay. And the women that has this problem more than any other nation of women are the so-called black women. I hate to say it, but it's the truth. We emasculate our men. We feel like we don't need a man. And granted, that I see things that happen. I'm not going to say that the man. We have to learn. We got some healing to do as a people. We got some tremendous healing to do as a people. And so I saw my mom and dad, and it wasn't the ideal marriage and relationship, but as a whole, I had my mom and dad. They were both Christian faith in the Christian faith. I had a dad. My mom was a stay at home. stay-at-home
Mm.
mother. She was very frugal. She was a musician. She sang. She was an entrepreneur. She wrote books. She wrote children books. And she was just a. I thank the creator for sending me through my mom.
Mm.
Because she's
Yes.
who I am. She's the reason why I am who I am today. And I wouldn't have it.
Mm.
I love my mom. She transitioned in
Mm.
2020. It was just a tough time. So I had, had a mom and dad at home. It was structured. It was structured there. I grew up with. I had 9 sisters and 7 brothers.
Wow.
I had a huge family, so I know tough times and I know how to get through. And my dad is the balance that's in me came from my dad at a younger age. Because if I didn't have that balance as a young man, growing up in the main
Mm.
street in Indiana, I would have been gone a long time ago. My dad
Mm.
balance. He taught me to be slow to anger. He said, because it's easy to get in trouble and hard to get out of it. Think twice as much as you run that mouth because you got 2 ears and one mouth. Mouth means you got to listen twice as much as you run your. And these were codes that kept me alive today. So now,
Mm.
when it comes to dealing with women, I am a natural protector.
Okay.
I've been that way all my life.
Mm.
And a long time, I would get angry with people because I've always had a certain understanding and knowledge. And the reason I would get angry at sometimes my brothers and sisters or certain people is because of the. It was because I'm trying to warn them, and I see things happening, and you trying to warn people to keep them from being hurt, and they don't listen, and then that's your passion.
Mm.
They misconstrue this anger, but it was passion. So with me, if I'm dating a woman, or if I'm whether you my sister, or if it's platonic, or it's a family member, this is what women need to realize. The reason why men life expectancy is shorter than women life expectancy is because we give our lives for you. We're
Mm.
willing, we're willing to die for you. So you
Okay.
have you have 4 times, 6 to 7 times more women than men because it was in order to the Great Spirit to say that we need procreation. So how can we speed up procreation? Well, men had many different wives back then. Men had
Mm-hmm.
that he had children back then. If you go back and you check your great, you see the grandma had maybe like 10. It was on the norm to have more than one child. I mean, more than 10
Mm-hmm.
children. My mom, had a lot of children. Her mom had a lot of her grandma and so forth and so on. And but I'm like, if a man is truly loves this lady, and he don't even have to love her, it's just his natural instinct to protect her. So watch this right here. To any woman that feel like we don't need a man, we can procreate by ourselves and so forth like that. If you had somebody at nighttime, 2 o'clock in the morning, that that came through your window uninvitedly to bring harm to family,
Mm-hmm.
and the woman she faced that, what that man is prepared to do, he is prepared to guard you and protect you with his life. That's something that a woman can never do to a man or for a man. I know that if somebody came in the house to try to bring harm to my family, I'm
Yeah.
prepared to go to war and don't ask questions. I'm
Mm-hmm.
prepared to guard you with my life, women.
Yes.
So until the day comes when if a man broke in a house and I scream and holler and say, "Oh, save me. I'm a dancer in distress." That should have never happened.
No.
So women, since the men are programmed and designed to protect you with our lives, the least thing you can do is respect that. Because you can never do it for me. And the day a man put on some red high heel pumps and grease his legs up for you and go in the kitchen and fix you some turkey, bacon, and eggs, that just won't never happen. We are designed to protect you. So I'm like this, baby. Since I'm willing to guard you with my life, what you can do is shut that pretty little pie hole up Go in the kitchen and fix me some bacon and eggs and grease those legs up because daddy's going to put it down for you. He going to put it down for you. That's what you can do with that little pretty little mouth of yours. Instead of running it off like that, shut your little cute mouth up. Go in there and fix daddy some food so you can get some strength up. I'm going to put you to sleep. And I'm going to have some energy, so I'm going to protect you. Because women are so important. Because you are the life force of the world. That's why the Creator made the man. But you see these big hands, these big shoulders,
Yes.
across the shoulders, 36, 240 pounds solid. I'm built to bring pain on somebody who comes with shenanigans. I'm built. I'm a protector. And so the Creator made men stronger and bigger on average than a woman. Why? Because women, you really can't handle the elements that we can handle. You can't handle those elements. So the man, we're your umbrella. Our job is to cover you. We are your covering. Why? So that you can protect us. We cover you because you protect us. We cover you with our strength, our might, our hands, our arms. We cover you. Why is that? Because when we put the seed in you, you're not supposed to be out there working, handling stress like that, because that baby is going to feel every last bit of it. And that's what's happening. Is that we got a whole bunch of babies being born into this world with rejection before they were even born, got rejected. And then they got all these hurts, pains, and this is what we call the generational curses. And we got these same people on social media who came to be content creators, who come spiritual or religion, and they're using these Facebook social media platforms, which they got maybe a lot of numbers, that use them to spit out venom towards one another, because there's still that little hurt boy or the little hurt woman that get easily gaslighted. When we shouldn't be easily gaslighted, we should be emotionally sound.
Yes.
And I hate to say it, we do it to each other worse than any other race of people. I hate to say it. Truth.
Okay.
I hate to say it. So we got a lot of healing to do. And moving over into the gold standard, we have to learn how to operate and trust toward one another. And just not the black man, the so-called white man, or the black women toward the black man. It's all of us, because they took us out of operating in trust to the point we act like baboons and wild animals, these social media platforms. And you need to realize that everything that you do, everything that you say is being recorded. So whether you want to repeat this cycle again, this hell, I'm not willing to live it. So I'm a righteous man. I'm not a perfect man. I'm going to do everything in my ability. I'm going to be righteous. I'm going to help women. I'm going to be respectful to women and men. I'm going to do my part to help society coming back into that gold standard. And there's a lot of pushback on it, because we've been taught so long. When there are very few women like you, that's regal, that's soft spoken, that's emotionally sound.
Thank you, Chief.
Intelligent. It's very few women like you. And since they've been taught this television, been telling people the wrong way. Matter of fact, let me say this real quick. I keep on saying, most of the people on television are inverted. So when you have these women groups, they hate women. They really hate women and men. They don't want the family to come together. So most of them women, when you said something about the women's right, this certain group, they're not women. Those are men.
Men on television that are presenting like women, and therefore projecting this image that women should be combative, they should be fighting, they should confront men, they should be unruly. But you're saying, oh my gosh, you're saying we're watching that and we're mimicking ourselves after those images, and they're not even real women.
Good. So what we do is television is so dangerous that the false realities that they present to us, we give the energy and turn that false reality into a reality. It's
Mm,
sorcery. It's witchcraft. Because they
wow.
got all these reality shows with women beating up on the men. It's because those women are really men. And the men are,
Okay. Okay.
you really watch it. And it's teaching our women how to emasculate the man and be all. If a woman is acting like a man, then she's not. I don't care how beautiful you are; it's just not attractive. It's not. A woman can shut a man down with being soft spoken. She
That's
would.
so true.
He can try to argue with you. You just be so nice, and your femininity would shut a man down. It would shut him down because he said, "You know what? I'm a big clown. I'm a big fool. I'm going off and I'm ooh 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 ooh," and she's
Mm,
just, "Honey, what you doing?" That'll melt me, man. I'm like, damn, I'm
mm,
acting like a damn fool in this woman. But when you act like you got a stick between your legs and balls like that, then most
mm,
men will treat you like that.
mm,
They will treat you like some men don't have the ability to restrain himself when being
mm,
emasculated like that.
mm.
So we got a lot of hurt people. So moving over into this new gold standard, we
And
have
golden age. Mm-hmm.
and
Yes, sir.
women like you. And I like to say that there are more smart people that listen to you on your platform than wow people.
Mhm.
Because
I
the
agree.
people who comment in your section and are mad like that, those are ones with the wrong vibration and frequencies.
Mm,
They just aren't. We most you got more emotionally sound people and spiritually sound people who follow you than not.
that's
And
true.
the ones that don't agree, and we don't have to agree on everything, but you don't have to be disagreeable even when you disagreeing with somebody. You don't have to. Emotionally sound and spiritually sound means that you can hear something that you disagree with and you choose your battle. Say that's none of my business. I'm gonna keep it moving because I got my own battles to fight.
Right, right.
I don't, people that get on social media that talk about people and run their mouth and spit venom out, that these are emotionally challenged people. So
Can I? Yes. Go
go
ahead.
ahead.
Thank you, Chief. And I want to show our soul family something because I don't know if we understand or understand the predicament of the human family. Okay, you have programs that were put in place to destroy traditional families,
Talked about
and
that.
so now you have men that are saying that are going their own way. Y'all remember the MGTOW movement? That the MGTOW movement, men going their own way, was the precursor to the passport bros movement. These were Caucasian men that were like, I've had enough with the feminist movement. The women don't want to help me raise children. Women don't want to work fewer hours, and they said we're going our own way. We can't deal with this. So you had the Caucasian men in America said, I'm going out my own way. And now you have other men and men classified as black saying, I can't do this anymore. And then you have the group of men that are in prison, okay, because of the school to prison pipeline. Of course, they're not marriageable necessarily until they get rehabilitated. And then you have men that participated in the underground economy who were selling drugs and doing all different type of things because maybe they didn't avail themselves of opportunities, or maybe they were shut out of certain opportunities, right? So those may not be viewed as marriageable. And then you have men that have become effeminated or effeminized
Wow.
through the foods. Go ahead. The programs.
So what you're alluding to is there are
Yes,
very few good men,
that's what I'm saying.
slim pickings for women to choose from. Very few. And and I feel sorry for me. I have a 14-year-old daughter, and I'm trying to do everything I can because it's scary because she's a beautiful young lady. But I know that there's slim pickings to young men out there. And
Mm,
we got to get to the point where when we get funded, we're gonna have to stay in contact with each other because we're gonna say, look, you got a grandson, you got a son that's this age. That's how it used to be. We're gonna have to get back to that because a lot of
yeah.
these young men who are born into rejection, they're almost to the point of damage to no point of return. And so,
Mhm.
like you said, In the 70s is when I saw, the late 70s is when I saw that change started to happen, when the divorce rate really picked
Yeah.
up in the late 70s and 80s. When I saw the divorce rate really picked up. And then in the 80s, they started giving more programs to women for schooling, food stamps, and you know, and the women felt like, it's easy for me to reject him because I got this system right here that's going to back me and give me the ammunition that I need to be kryptonite to this man.
Yeah.
Instead of working it out, because if you work it out, then there's a lot of women like my grandma or great grandma. These women,
Mm-hmm.
they stuck things through and they
They
fought
stuck it
through
out. They
because
really did.
that they was more so concerned with their bloodline and knowing that the decision that they make today can affect their bloodline. They said, if I go ahead and run out and leave this man, and I'm not saying that the woman just let a man knock you upside the head and
Right.
oh, you need to leave.
Mm-hmm.
You don't leave. But there's some women makes it so easy for them to just vacate and go. And then
Mm-hmm.
when you do that, the whole family is trash because the children
Man.
are dead. You know, the woman she has to work. The streets are left to raise the children. The television is there to raise the children, and they're implanting things in these children's minds. You know, my dad having a dad at home and I'm a masculine man. When I got 14, 50, I started having muscles. I started smelling them. I was like, oh man, my legs look good, my shoulders and chest, man. But look at my back. And my mom can handle me. She can handle me.
Mm.
If I did something, she would try to hit me. I would tense up hard, and
Mm-hmm.
she couldn't. That was not she can do with me. She couldn't hurt, but her whippers didn't hurt anymore. But let me tell you something. I had a healthy level of fear for my dad.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
that healthy level of fear, born and raised in the main streets of Gary, Indiana, was the first murder capital of the whole United States when the drug pipe was put on the streets. Gary, Indiana became the
Mm.
first murder capital. The movie called Original Gangsters was because of Gary, Indiana. I grew up
Wow.
a lot of people being murdered, killed, and my mom and dad said they wasn't going to. The both of them together said we're not losing any one of our children to the streets.
Mm.
They did a whole bunch of orthodox things. Like my mom put a piano in the house
Mm.
way back then that was smart. My great grandma gave us an old upright piano that had a baby and a harp inside of it. My mom, we had a house that had 3 floors. The boys stayed in the basement, and the girls stayed upstairs on the 3rd floor with my mom and dad. And my mom put boxing, a heavy bag and boxing and weights down in that basement. And my older
Mm.
brother trained the younger, but me and my brothers like that, like we were in boot camp.
Mm. Chief, you were going in. Come back, Chief. If I need to send you another link, I'm gonna do it right now. Um, and hold on, family, because he was really getting into it, wasn't he? Let me send Chief another link. Keep chatting, fam. I'm enjoying your conversation. I'm trying to go back and forth and read the chat. And I agree with you. There were some men that were like really beating up women back in the day. And, you know, nowadays they can't get away with that. Nowadays, you can call the police on these gentlemen and they would be removed. And so some women have figured out that game, unfortunately. And they have taught each other in women chats that if you want to leave, or if you want to get with a good man and take his goods, oh, I've seen it. They even teaching it online. If you want to target a man with money, and then and this is why men are like smartening up, and then start an argument. They know the game in every community, and some of the people, women that come here from other countries, they know the game as well. So you start an argument with the man, and you call the police, and because the police know how serious domestic violence is, they will come and remove the man from his own house and lock him up in jail, no questions asked. So, you know, on the one hand, we understand and understand why We understand and understand why some men, had to be removed because some men were beating women. But then again, some women caught on to the game and they taught other women to do that. And now men are removed from their home and the woman takes his resources. And the women that were here from other countries taught other women, if you want your green card faster, call the police or the authorities on a man and say he hit you, even if he didn't, have him locked up, and then you get your green card fast, and then you can go to the government and get benefits, and then you're good. You can leave that man and act like it never happened. And trust me, I'm old enough to have heard all of these different conversations, so I know both sides. And that's why we need to work with our gentlemen like Chief Mack, so that, and support him and support Asir Dukateers, support Taj Diami Bey, who's in the chat, support Sharif Ali, Brother Sharif Ali, who I saw in the chat, and some of our other elder men, so that they can train the younger men, so that they can educate them and, put good values in them. And the reason why we need the men to train other men is because a woman, as much as we try, we can teach them good values. And I see people in the chat saying, my kids turned out fine, things happen to their dad. And I get it, but it's just different from a man putting values in a younger man. And before you go on, Chief, let me just show women why I'm so serious that we got to, get it together. Some of you are Christians here in the chat. I was taught this from the time I was a child, so I knew I need to learn how to conduct myself. Okay. The scriptures in Isaiah 4:1 says, in that day, talking about the last day, 7 women will take hold of one man and will say, we'll eat our own food and provide our own clothes. Only let us be called by your name. Take away our disgrace. This is happening right now in 2025. Chief has told me, there have been women that said, look, Chief, look, you can have 5, 6, 7 of us. You're tall, you're a good man, you got good values, you have resources. I don't care how many women you have, just take me under your umbrella and provide for me. We're living in that day, sisters, where women are going to beg men for provision and protection. Don't listen to these women online that's talking about they got a glorious life. They riding in jets and, they're taking men for their money. Men are too smart to let you take away all their money. I don't know where they got that lie from. Okay. Or they balling out, they're boss bees and boss chicks and they don't need men. They got a bag. Meanwhile, in real life, they're being evicted from their homes. They had to move from Atlanta to Texas or to Ohio where they can afford to live, and there's no man in sight. That's one scripture. I'm going to say one more thing before I turn over to Chief. If you look at, for all my mores that's in the comments section, if you look at what one of the prophecies of Noble Drew Ali said, let me show you the prophecy. We're living in that day. This is number 20. One day, women are going to be chasing men like a hound running after a rabbit. And in another part of his prophecy, he said, there are going to be so few eligible men that a child will run and see a man and say, oh, I saw a man, and run home and say, Mommy, I saw a man. Now, why am I bringing this up? Because we already know that according to some statistics, women outnumber men. And we also know that there are fewer marriageable men with all of these systems that have been put in place to keep men away from us. And every woman's not going to want to share her husband with you. Okay. Every woman's not going to say, yeah, we can go ahead and do polygyny again. Let's be fair about this. Some women are like, no, y'all were nasty, mean, disrespectful, and arrogant. Talked about me because I had a covering, and now you want to share my husband? No, the government took away all your benefits. You can't get a job because all these illegal aliens and immigrants that were here running the hotels, running the STEM jobs, all these men that came over here from India and Africa and Nigeria that got all of these science and technology and engineering jobs or created businesses, and all these Indians from Asia, the East Indians that own the hotel industry and own the gas stations and own a corporation, all these people from outside that started these corporations that gave you a job, now they got to leave and go back to their countries. What you gonna do? Because now you don't have a job. You do think this stuff is funny. You're not gonna have a job. and you're going to need a man. And what's wrong with needing a man? Look at Chief Mac. The man looked like the gods dropped him from the sky. 6 foot something,
How much
dark.
I owe you for saying that?
Say it again.
How much I owe you for saying that?
Oh, I'll talk to you about that offline. You owe me a lot, brother. Good man, strong, good values, a chief, honorable, knows how to keep his energy, his body, his mind. You have men like him. Okay, you have men like Brother Sharif Ali, who's married. You think his wife gonna let you share him and all the work she put in him to help build him up and support him? You know, I mean, he was already a man, but I mean, like she, you know, ladies, y'all know that a man with a beautiful woman on his arm makes him more valuable to us if we keep it honest. You got men in this comment section like Taj, Diami Bay, some of the other men that are checking in. What did Sharif Ali say? Thank you more for being in the house. He said it's happening like right now, like you said. They've been putting ostrazine in the water supply for years. Professor Tyrone Hayes' research shows that ostrazine makes male frogs homosexual and change their genes. You have men all in this chat right now who are good, presentable, honorable men. Their women ain't gonna let you share their men. Now, we may have to come back to polygyny. That's a whole nother discussion.
Yep.
But right now we accept monogamy, one man to one woman. The men that y'all want, the Chief Max, the Sharif Ali's, there ain't that many of them. First of all, there's not that many men over 6 feet walking this planet, and not in America. But having all the qualities that you want, and then you want, when you find one, you want to pop off, you want to be disrespectful, we want to be rude, we want to be mean, we want to say, I don't need you, I'm good on my own, my kids are okay.
Yep.
You don't even understand and overstand. It's not even in a man's nature to raise another man's children, but they do it anyway. We ought to be saying thank you. It's not in his nature to pour all his resources in another male's genetics. What honor does it bring him? For the kid to grow up and say, you ain't my daddy anyway? For the kid to dishonor his values? Yes, some of the children that we have were raised by other men and they did a phenomenal job, but every man ain't built that way. And it's not even natural. Look in the wild and see what happens.
The lion kills off the other woman's children so he can bring his own up. Eat them up and kill them.
Thank you, Chief. And I'll yield the floor to you.
So what I was saying about my dad, you know, my dad put a healthy level of fear in me.
Okay.
So what my mom can do, because once a young man starts getting of age, there's nothing a woman can really do with him. It takes that man. And because of that, my dad gave me balance. I can recall one time that I was about 13 or 14 years old. And, you know, my mom was saved and sanctified and filled with the precious Holy Ghost and just, you know, right set up. And so this is funny. So one of the neighbors called me and her sister. We were dry hunching.
Not dry hunting.
How many of you remember that? We dry hunching. That means hunching with clothes on. Trying to be grown. So the older sister came there and she saw me. We were dry hunching. She said, ooh, I'm telling Sister McGrone. I'm telling. I'm like, damn, I'm in trouble. Don't tell Sister McGrone, filled with the precious Holy Ghost down at Open Door Baptist Missionary Sweetwater Church. Don't tell her. So I came home and she hit on me. She beat me and she hit on me. I'm telling Charles. And just I was biting my nails, man. I was nervous, man. Don't tell that man. That man got hands big as mine. Big old man. You know, I wear size 14 in the ring. My hands like
14.
Yes, I wear 14 in the ring. You know,
don't start, sisters.
Yeah. And my dad came home. I was so nervous and scared. Boy, I was so scared. Man. Charles, she was just all in Charles. Women, leave me. Women, I'll get him. She said, boy, go in that room. I just felt like I wanted to pass out because Charles didn't play. He got me in that room, shut that door. I just felt so sad. I didn't even want to be me because my dad known for handling the business. He said,
Mm-hmm.
"Come here, boy." He said, "Come here." He said, He took his butt off, and you know how he folded it up, and he said, when I pop it, I want you to scream and holler like I'm hitting you."
I knew you was gonna say that.
And I looked at my dad like, "What's going on here?" We clicked. He said,
Mm.
"When I do like that, I like you're crying." He said, "That's my boy." He said, "That's my boy." I knew then he was just happy that he didn't have to fight his boy loving boys. He was
Oh
happy
my
to know
God.
was like women. He was happy to know that he was on bloodline was going to be created
Mm.
because his
Mm.
son wasn't looking at another son. And my
Mm.
mom didn't understand that.
See, no, we can't understand.
She
Yeah.
didn't understand that as a woman, and if she was a single woman, she would have told me up and damaged me to the point I was scared. My dad brought the balance.
Mm. Ah.
He was just happy to know that I wasn't trying to swing bets with another bet.
Mm.
So he said, "Pop," and I hit that. He rubbed my head like that. He was like, "That's my boy." And I was kind of confused, but I said, "Oh," so he congratulated me for liking women.
Mm.
But a woman by herself can't understand that.
Mm. No, I wouldn't have. I
We
wouldn't
need
have.
balance back. And
Mm.
let me tell you something. I've dated women with children, and any woman that I have raised because it's been my ministry that I've trained. I'm a personal trainer. I've trained professional athletes and celebrities. I've trained young men in sports. I naturally like young men, even guys in their 30s. They think that I'm in my 30s and I'll be 54. When they see how I park at the gym right now, get ready to go in. As when I get off, I'm keeping myself healthy and in shape. And my heart is for young men. So young men that I have raised with women that I have been with in the past, I took them young men and raised them in a righteous way.
Mm.
So much that some of these young men, they're in their 40s right now. They
Mm.
I wish you was my dad. But I said, no, because I'm never going to take your bloodline from you and where you come from, but I'm going to raise you in a righteous way. And we need, and so with me, if I dated a woman with children, you don't realize that if you raise them in a right, see, the way I look at life is that everything that we do is being recorded. And I know
Mm.
that. So I know that the ancestors are watching every move that you make.
Mm.
So I can't do no wickedness. I can't be evil, foul, and wicked to people. Because if I do that, I'm keeping on that generational curse that could hit my family. I'm not trying to repeat this here. So we got to be responsible. We got to take accountability toward our own action. And that's called operating in trust. When you
Mm-hmm.
operate in trust, that means you have remedy. You don't worry about
Mm-hmm.
nobody else's shit but yours.
Mm.
And you know, when you deal with people, you deal with people with patience and with honor. And we lack patience when it comes to dealing with each other. We're so easily gaslighted, so quick to snap off like that, and we just got to
Mm.
do better. So those of us who are willing to do this, a lot of us are here because we will be getting funded soon. And it's
Yes.
us to bring righteousness back on the earth. Some people don't have a reason for being funded. And if that reason is only for you and what you want, it's not for you. This is for people so we can go out in the streets collectively as men and women because the women need
Mm-hmm.
women and the men need to deal with the men.
I agree with that.
Feed the homeless. I command attention and down. I got friends that are homeless that can actually call me a friend. And the scripture said, be careful to entertain strangers. Many
Mm-hmm.
entertain angels unaware. And many of you are too wrapped up into yourself to realize that you've missed that test.
Mm.
I passed it several times. So that's why I know that whatever I need, that the creator and the ancestors provide a way for me. It's not about how smart you are, how long you've been down walking this walk. It's got to do with your humility,
Mm.
your walk, your patience. That's what it's got to do with. dealing with people with the fruits of the spirit, and they have taught us to move out of operate in the fruits of the spirit. So I'm taking accountability for myself and women, how I deal with women, how I handle women. I take a responsibility for my action, and that's what we're gonna have to do: take responsibilities for our action, because we got some entities in this earth that's thriving off of our chaos toward one another.
Mm.
They create the chaos because they have an order already in place. So guess how we can destroy their order? By how we deal with each other. We can
Oh,
disrupt their order by how we operate toward each other. These social media platforms was made for us to be derogatory toward each other.
mm.
All we have to do is love each other with action. Give it all the hate, the malice, the envy, and jealous out of our heart, and how we deal with each other. Be patient with each other, and that's how we can really build back as a community, as a culture, as
Mhm.
a people, and with any other people. It's about a shine and a light that you have. It don't have anything to do with color. If you really
Okay.
want, I've been hurt by my people than any other race of people.
Mm.
You know, so I got faith that things is going to happen the way because things have to get worse to shut people down. You got people got to be broken down to agree with you so that it can tear down their paradigm, that understand that they don't have patience. Women don't have patience toward men, or men who don't have
Mm.
patience toward women. You know, some Facebook posts I see women all they do is put up posts about how the so-called men don't get along with the women, and
Yeah.
I get sick of that because you're creating that in your mind. You'll never have a
Th-
good speak it. Doing what you're doing right there is so very attractive and becoming to men. It's being soft.
Thank you.
And women who are not like that, that's threatening to them. They think it's weak. It's not weak. That's power comes from a woman being soft spoken, caring. And especially this time, because when these men get these funds and then Trump is ending all these government uh these free government trickles that women were getting. They make you with food stamps, child,
Mhm.
um, all these grants that goes to women that men don't get, and then you got certain men that's gonna about to get the gold standard, get this wealth, and most of the men, like you guys said, especially here in Atlanta, Georgia, you don't know what you're looking at.
Ooh.
You got a woman that's beautiful with breasts and thighs, and it will put some miles on you because she got a stick between her legs.
Mm.
You gotta be careful in these streets. And you got certain men you would think that's straight and heterosexual are dating these type of women with sticks between their legs.
Wow.
Then you got certain men walking around here with nice beards, small feet, little hands. Those are women.
Mm.
I know what I'm talking about because when I get my hair cut, I've ran into a guy that I've been knowing for the past 7 years, and I was talking about inversion to my barber, and I was saying I don't hate people who are inverted. So I don't have no hate for them, but I get my family. I said I just
Mhm.
people on the world stage that you just need to know what you're dealing with. That guy said, "Come here, let me tell you something." I said, "What?" He said, "I'm a girl." I said, "Say what?" He said, "I'm a girl."
Wow.
I said, "You okay with me?
Yeah. Yeah.
You okay with me?"
Mm.
He
Mm.
said, "That's why I'm losing my hair at the top because I'm on hormone replacement therapy."
Oh my God.
And he had a boyfriend, was a straight, a man who was gay, dating a guy that should look like a man but was really a woman. Very confusion. It's very, very. He said, "I'm a girl on hormone replacement therapy that makes me look like a man on the outside." But that's why he said, "That's why I'm short and got these small hands and small feet. I'm a girl
Um,
on hormone
can,
replacement therapy."
can I say something, Chief? Can I ask you something, Chief? Let me ask you this. You might have touched on it just a little bit. So for the ladies that desire a husband or and a covering, maybe they might need help with their children, or they may be just starting out, don't have any children, and they're having some challenges attracting a man. Maybe all the men they see are the men that, the derelicts in society. I'm just going to let's give them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe where they live, it's just so horrible that it's hard to attract a valuable man. What type of advice, if you have time, would you give to them for attracting or finding a good resourceful man that will help them and provide and protect them?
My mom, oh, she was, like I said, you remind me of my mom, the way she would speak.
Thank
My
you.
mom she was a teacher. She was for union and marriage and union between a man and a woman. She was really, really big on that. And I
Okay.
like to say that because of my mom, my sisters are some of the most beautiful women in heart and spirit.
Mm.
They're not out there being promiscuous, with different men. Most of them are married. The ones that's not married, they're not out running the streets. My mom did an excellent job.
Okay.
I say that. And I think that for women who wants to find a good man, you got to change your heart and change your spirit.
Okay.
You have to change what's going on inside the inside of you.
Okay.
And you got to start speaking life over yourself
Mm.
because we're in manifestation time right now. So if you
Okay.
speak it, you believe it, you can just not believe it, but you know it can happen. You got to speak life over yourself and say, I got a good man.
Mm.
My husband found me, or my guy found me. I'm good. Then you start saying these good things about yourself like that. Then you start acting like it.
Mm.
Start oozing off you. So when the man sees that, and he sees that you're meek, you're kind, you're soft spoken, because a man is the opposite of that. The opposite attract each other.
Okay.
So if you speak women, if you speak it over yourself, see men, we can come to a woman who may not have the money or anything like that. Men, we'll take you, we'll bring you up,
Mm.
bring you up. It's the women that have these good jobs, making 6 figures a year, and in these big old houses by themselves,
Mm.
scared, with a friend, like with a plastic friend named Ding Dong,
Mm-hmm.
who can't do the job because he ain't got nothing warm running through him.
Mm.
We got a lot of women like that, and they married to these jobs, and it's just not cutting it. They want a man, but as soon as they feel like they've been threatened, they emasculate the man. And the
How
man,
so? Can you? I'm sorry.
go
Go
ahead.
ahead. You said they emasculated men. How do we do that as women? How have we done that? Because we might not understand what you mean.
Man, when a woman, some women get gaslighted, and they'll emasculate a man. They might say, "You little, you ain't bringing that much to the table. I'm the breadwinner here.
Mm.
Your little 30% ain't doing nothing." Anyway, some women, any way they can find a way they hit you in your soul.
Okay.
Your
Okay.
your hairline is falling backwards. Ain't no man about it, but nobody wants you. Anything they can find out to emasculate you.
Okay.
You know, you can't even get it up. Instead of saying, let me feed you, let me love you, let me get you, we gonna
Mm.
work this thing out together. Then they just do anything to emasculate a man and make him feel low. And then when a man goes
Mm.
out in the streets like that, he can go to a woman that don't even look half as beautiful as a woman, but that woman got a soft meat hard.
Mm.
Men are designed at so much right now.
Mm.
They're looking to go and look at and find it elsewhere other than in their own nation or race of people. They're looking elsewhere because women, they were looking for a soft woman to speak. Because believe it or not, we have so much on us as men. We have
Okay.
so much on us as men. Like
Mm.
especially me. I need you guys to keep me covered. Because I'm a righteous man, I have a lot of hidden forces and envy and jealous toward me. People get gaslighted by because the fact that you're chosen and you're righteous. I get it. I'm 6 feet tall, 240 pounds. I work out. I dress nice. I'm a musician. I got a lot of little gifts and things about myself. And a person who's not healed, whether it's a man or a woman, they get easily gaslighted off of sin, stuff like that. See, we got to be healed as a people. So they're going to do everything they can do to try to destroy you so they can come in and do a destiny swap with you.
Mm.
Trying to slander your ego with lies, deceit, and deception so they can come in and do a destiny swipe and try to become you. And we just got to do better, man. I got hope that things will get better, but things are going to get worse before they get better. It's a lot of chaos.
Yeah.
Yeah, things will get worse before they get better. We just got to love each other with so we can make it through this dry time right there. We can make it through. And guess what? We can make it through it if we come together. Yes, we can make it through. Together
Gee,
we rise. That's how I said we have to one of my sayings, another one of my sayings you heard me say, we got to wise up so that we rise up.
wow.
When we wise up, we rise up together.
Hmm.
That's what's at hand.
Chief, you were talking about women being soft, pleasant, delicate, feminine. And I would add, be mindful with our words or how we speak to men. But you will have some women that say, but if you do that, a man will run all over you. And if you do that, it's not going to stop him from cheating on you. Or if you do that, you're being docile and you're being a doormat. I've heard all of these. What would your retort be?
It's just not the right man. Sometimes
Mm,
I really believe the woman is the teacher. Eh, What's going on with you if you change your perception?
yes.
A man wouldn't do that. The woman creates so much balance. She's the
Yes.
one that would cause that man to open up tremendously to tell her what's on his heart. The woman is there for the man to release the tears. Because if he don't, that's why he's dying so early, because he's holding so much stuff in.
Mm,
The woman brings that softness out the man where he can cry on your shoulders and he can tell you what's going on in his heart. She's the balance. I like to say that the woman is more important than the man.
mm,
She's the balance.
mm,
Until she creates that balance and speak life over herself so that the right man can come in to the point where he can feel safe, that he can open up and tell her what's really going on inside him,
mm,
so that he can protect her so that she can cover him.
mm.
We need to be covered by the women, but because we're not being covered, it's why we're being attacked, because the women won't let us protect them.
Oh, wait. We won't let you protect us? What does that mean?
Most women are so busy being so strong and masculine and emasculate the man, then we can't protect you to be that covering for us. So you're sabotaging yourself because you have become the kryptonite that these outside forces want you to be toward the man, so that you won't get the protection, so that you can cover us. The only way you can cover us if we can protect you. We're that umbrella to cover you from the elements of life.
Okay.
So women, they got women thinking you can be a fireman, you can be a policeman, you can be everything that a man can be.
Mm,
That's not true. A woman is made, she's soft, she's
mhm.
beautiful, she got small hands, small shoulders, a little neck, nice thick thighs and hips, so
Ooh,
that
child.
the man hardness can press against your softness.
Oh, okay.
It's your
Mm,
softness against his hardness. And when we come together, it's sweet music.
mm.
It don't have to be about sex. It's got to be about that that union that we come together. When we come together like that, it's beautiful. And I look forward to that day when men and women can come together and we can really support each other, so that the man can open up to that woman, so she can take. See, a woman is anatomically stronger than a man.
Okay.
And a woman, a man, anatomically, we're stronger than women on the outside.
Okay.
So we're built strong so that we can protect the woman. So when a woman is pregnant, we protect her
Mm,
so she can bring forth that life force to continue to bring the gods and goddesses that's being reincarnated back on earth.
okay.
That's what time it is right now, because a lot of people are being taken off so we can bring righteous men and women back on the earth.
Mm,
And we need for the men and women to take their rightful thrones, come together in unity,
mm.
so we can bring righteous babies that's being reincarnated back on the earth. Because there's no hell, and anybody going to hell. You just being reincarnated. So it's our job to do that, and we got to have everything set up in trust, so the babies are born in trust. We got
Mm,
to teach them all over again. So you and I are right there at that age where we are teaching. We are elders right now to
that's
teach
right.
our young children on how to operate in trust. And the men and women, it don't have to necessarily be about marriage, but if a man have a baby with a woman, and you guys, that's a marriage.
That's a marriage.
It's a marriage. They back in the day they called it, like you said, common law marriage. It's a marriage.
Yes. Hmm. Hmm.
When you get along with each other, you communicate with each other, you're talking. Women who are rational mind, they love communication.
Hmm.
And when you can get that man to open up and talk to you, there's no reason for him to hide anything from you. When you're meek, you're loving, you're kind, you're soft spoken. There's nothing you got that man wrapped around you like that if you're that way. And most of the women who are on that saying, "Well, you can be all that," and I don't believe so.
Yeah.
I don't
I
believe
don't.
I don't believe.
Yeah. Yeah. My experience has been, and it continues to be, that when you operate in your femininity and you're soft and you're pleasant and you're sweet, men will open doors. Men will pull out chairs. They'll send you gifts and money. They will offer you to marry you, especially in this time and day when so many women are masculine presenting. For when a man sees the opposite of him and he sees a woman that's coming, off as soft as a flower and sweet, he wants to grab her up because he's dealing with all these external forces that are both men and women acting like the masculine energy that he's supposed to exude. So his nature when he sees a feminine woman is to take care of her. It just comes out. It's not even something he has to think about. So
Dr. Kia, there's a lot of uh, masculine, strong men out here. You know,
a lot. Hold on, Chief. Keep going. We have another guest from Moors in America. This is Sharif Ali.
Sheree, how you doing, that brother?
Doing good. How are you both doing?
We're
Man, I'm
doing
doing
good.
absolutely amazing, man. Absolutely amazing, brother. Brother, go
Yeah.
ahead and add your input in. I wanted to say this real quick.
Okay, okay.
There are men. He probably and you can elaborate on this right here too. Are you married?
Oh yes, yes.
Oh man, kudos to
For
you.
many years. How many years? How many years?
for me, for
No,
me, for me, Sharif, brother Sharif, being a single man and being a man's man, it's tough out here, brother. It's tough. It's tough. There are certain days when I can use a woman just to hold me and say it's gonna be okay.
Mm,
Cause it's tough out here, man. It's tough. And I'm not out in these streets running around, sleeping around at all like that. I'm celibate. I'm not out there doing that. But
yeah,
men, we need to be held and hugged, man. Just saying, it's gonna be okay, baby. The rub, just the soft hands, the rub your head and say, "I got you, sweetie. It's gonna be on home." That is so powerful, and only a true feminine woman can do that. She can give a man that kind of power. To say, she's the gasoline and the
mm,
yeah,
fuel that we need to go out there and be victorious. A
mm,
woman, and we need
yeah.
mm,
that. But go ahead, brother.
Oh yeah, man. I think we all really looking for that balance, in our lives. The divine masculine and feminine. And it's just so many forces outside trying to cause confusion and keeping us astray. And I can feel where you're coming from. I mean, I've been married for 23 years.
Wow.
Well, coming up 23 years in August. But it's crazy out here, and it's just getting crazier and crazier. You know, and I think, like, just individually, we can all find somebody, right? But as a collective, it's not going to work unless we form communities, with like-minded people where we are holding up some type of divine principles that we adhere to. And if we're not doing that, if we're going by whatever the media, whatever the world's telling us to do, it's a wrap. It's just
mm.
no hope. You know.
And brother Sharif, and sister Dr. Pruitt,
Yes, sir.
I believe that that's where we're heading.
Okay.
Many of us, through the trust and the foundation that we have, uh, my goal is there's certain people that I've talked to and I see where their mind is. Once you have your foundation in ministries, that foundation in ministry is getting ready to be funded real soon. And when it's funded, there's certain people that I'm going to be in contact with. Certain people I did their trust. And then just real quick on the off note, if you hadn't received your 98 number, take your SS4 application. That's a telephone number on there. You can call it. They'll give it to you. Just so you know, you call it, they'll give it to you. We're going to come together and trust so that it's going to take us. We are the new government. So we got to start acting the part. The old out with the old and in with the new. We are the new government because we were the original government. Power was always to the people. So since we're going to become the new government, we have to act accordingly. We have to go out there. I think I heard you talk about this, Dr. Kidd. We're going to have to go out there, set up programs for the women to deal with the women and the men to deal with the men. We're going to have to get our homeless brothers and sisters off the streets, create programs, create opportunities for them to get their stuff out together. Because a lot of people who are homeless on the street right now is not because of drugs. You got regular people who never thought they would. Atlanta is embarrassing. It is embarrassing in terms of the amount of homeless people on the streets. And I will this week. I'm going to give you guys some footage. I'm going to drop it on my Facebook page and my YouTube page to show you guys the amount of homeless people on the streets. And they're not on drugs. These are regular people who just said, "Fuck it." They don't want to work no more. They've lost their jobs. The rent is too high. They can't afford it, and they say they got a tent, and they got their cell phones and everything. They work in jobs, and they go home in a tent underneath the bridge in Atlanta. So we're gonna have to come together as brothers and sisters, no matter what nationality you are, as long as you're on the righteous team, with the operating trust and creating programs, get buildings, so we can get our people off the streets.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a lot more so-called white people who are homeless on the streets right now. So it's not about no color. It's about righteous. So it's going to take us, brother. And I will link with you. I'm already linked with Dr. Kier and the other brothers and sisters I've talked to, that we're going to come together and trust when we get funded, and we're going to get these buildings and get these things. It's going to take us because the system is not going to do it. They're not going to get them off the street. They're creating it, and that's the chaos that's happening. So it's going to take brothers and sisters with a righteous mindset who are operating trust, who are really funded to get these people off the street, and so we can create. And the main goal of why we're doing what we're doing is to stop the trafficking, guys. When we come together as a unit, and the women have that covering, that protection, so she can cover the children, we can stop the trafficking, because there's trafficking going on, and we're so busy arguing back and forth and emasculating the man hating on the women, to the point I put a post up on my page about how many children are being snatched up and snuffed up off the streets. Because we too busy fighting amongst each other, we're not paying attention to what's going on, and these children are being snuffed up off the streets.
Absolutely. And we got to fix this issue. And I know you said you got to go, Chief, but before you go, I want to show you and Brother Sharif, and I'm gonna give you a chance, Brother Sharif, because I honor you for being here to speak your piece. I want to show you this here, and it did something to me. This statistic here that talks about median household incomes, and granted, I know that a lot of people were here from other countries, some that have come with resources already, and then some that were able to establish businesses and have more resources, and take the resources from the Americans that are here on the land. But this so-called pyramid bothered me. When you look at who's at the top, Indian Americans bringing home $100,500. Filipino Americans, 83,000. Can y'all see that? 300. Taiwanese Americans. Can you see that, Chief and Brother Sharif? Chief?
Yeah.
I was going to speak on that, because the so-called black man makes the less out of all. In fact, the so-called black woman, she outperformed and she gets paid. They did it on purpose for her to get paid more than the black man.
Yes, sir. And so the street.
Yes, sir. The two most powerful people in America is the white man and the black woman.
Yep. The Sri Lankans bring home 74,600. Japanese Americans, 72,300. Malaysian Americans, 70,300. Chinese Americans, 69,100. Pakistani Americans, 66,200. White Americans, 59,000. They're making more than Caucasian Americans. Korean Americans, 59,200. White Americans, 59,900. Indonesian Americans, 57,500. Average American household is 56,200, and you have women in our community saying, I need a six-figure man, or these men can't do nothing for me. And the average American is bringing 56,200. Thai Americans 55, Bangladesh Americans 50, Nepali 43.5, Hispanic or Latino Americans 43,000, and African Americans $35,000.
Wow,
that's crazy.
In the household.
Yeah.
And we're saying we can't have a man unless he's 6'6", 6 foot, six-figure income, and 6 inches of penis, because we're so concerned about the bedroom, because we had so many men. We started out, some of us, young in high school, God forbid, some people even middle school, and you had so many men. Then you went to college, had your little whole face that you thought was cute. You had so many experiences that now you have a requirement of what his phallus should look like over whether or not he has good values and he's a good man. I know it because I've heard the conversations. This is egregious, in my opinion. This is egregious. And this is another reason why Donald Trump, the alliance, and the people that are in power that's really bringing us back to the republic is getting rid of all these other people, because they've taken on so many resources and jobs and building all these, businesses and giving money to build businesses that the average American doesn't have access to. We gotta come together and work. I'm sorry, your piece on that, brother Sharif, or anything that you want to say?
Sure. I think the main issue just has been the removal or the attempt to remove the men from the household. Now there's plenty of households where it is African American men and women together working together, but the attempt to remove us from the household, because a serious man isn't going to be silly, not going to be goofy, he's not going to be going for whatever trends popping at the moment. He's going to have a serious mind and be able to see some of the things that are being done in the in the society to prevent us from being successful. And so when you remove that element from the household, you don't have that leader. It's going to stop and say, you're not going for the foolishness. And so that's why you can have these agendas where the young men, we're sagging our pants, we're looking stupid, we're looking foolish. There's no man, there to say, no father with the authority to say, stop that. And, you had the women that, are saying the things like you were saying, they're pumping that stuff, saying that stuff like it's cool, like it's even sustainable to have that type of mentality, So you remove that element, that seriousness, then you have a community that doesn't have this serious leader, so they're vulnerable, and as long as that's allowed to take place, as long as we allow that to take place, we'd just be the most vulnerable community. We'd be at the bottom economically and everything else, So it's, for those of us who are aware, we have to build an actual community, even if we don't all live together, we have to do that, because it's like, who are our daughters and sons going to procreate with? I think you guys already talked about that, we have 5 children. Huh?
I said Chief has a daughter. That's all I was saying. Chief has a daughter. You have 5?
We all in the same position. We all have children. We have 5. 2 who are young adults now. We have 2 boys, 3 girls. They're already with our young ladies. 2 of them, so there's some young men that's interested in them, so they have, friends that, are interested in them. They come over, they want to talk to them, and they have to come and talk to me. They have to listen, to the teachings. Because I'm a grand sheik of our local Moore Science Temple of America. They have to listen to this. They have to understand it. We have to talk personally, so that, they get where I'm coming from. Like, we don't do the, sex before marriage and all that stuff. And they have to be with that, just to be able to come around and visit the daughters. You have to have, I'm just saying that to share, you have to have that, like, that male presence in the house that's actually like a father. So they have the authority to do things like that. And so that the daughters are going to listen, and the friends or whoever else comes around, they're going to listen, and not being aggressive or just being like a jerk about it. Like, this is how we do it. Able to relate and get that message across, man. Without that, man, it's a wrap. I don't want to say that to be like it's negative, it's over. It's just that we have to have that in every household. And that's another reason why the money is so low, because if it's single men or single women, of course the household, income is going to be low. If you're talking about Sri Lankans and Pakistanis, a lot of these people, they're going to be like together and not just shacking up. They're going to be married.
You'll be
So like
married.
right off that, you got two incomes just focused on one household instead of my income going over here. Plus I got to go over
And
there
brother, Sharif,
and I got to
real
pay for
quick,
a child over here.
would you say that the system has given women a false sense of security,
Mm.
by saying we're gonna make sure you give you a better job, making more money than the man. We're gonna
Mm.
give you grants and so forth to school. We're gonna give you food stamps. We're gonna give you child care.
Mm.
So it has given them a false sense of security to say, well, I can feel more secure by pushing him away and not needing him because I got this. But when you do that, then you exposing your children.
Mm.
Your children are open game for these predators watching your children. And I'm telling you, I go out in these streets. Many of you need to appreciate a man like this because I've seen people out the street. I saw a woman at Walmart, and then listen to me. Let's be on the lookout, guys. For all your people who hear me, if you go to Walmart and you see a woman coming up to you saying, "Hey, how you doing? There? Can you smell these strips for me?"
Mm.
And you smell those strips and you pass out and they snatch you up in one of these white trucks. I saw a woman from a foreign country out there trying to ask black women to smell these strips. And when I saw it, it rang my bell. I say, that's what an agent. I took my phone and I started recording it and she took off.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
Walmart
why.
is the definition of martial law. Walmart. Martial is short for law. Mart is short for martial, and law is spelled backwards. You got wall. Turn it around, it spells law. You're part of the problem. All of those missing children that you see that's on the wall inside there are really for sale. For certain people to walk in there and buy these people that they snatched up. Let's be mindful. And see, this is what I'm talking about, being a community. While we're so busy trying to worry about this and that, we should be focused on the. We need to blame ourselves for these people coming up missing because we too involved with each other. Brother Sharif, we got to become a community. You're right. I mean,
You.
let's set this up. You go into these hotels by yourself. The hotels are involved with the trafficking. Women should be going to the hotel by yourself with these children because I posted on my page about 4 years ago. This young girl, they were on a women's retreat, and the young girl said she looked up, she saw the special device going underneath her door to try to unlock her door.
Mm.
Called her aunties up in the hotel. She was in the room by herself. They came and when she opened the door up, guess who it was? The people who work there, the maintenance guy.
Mm.
They showing that these hotel chains are in on trafficking. And mind you, 4 months ago, when I went to Chicago, I was staying in this one big chain hotel. I went in there, I found a camera inside the hotel room I was
Yeah,
staying in.
you filmed that. You put it on your page. Yeah.
So it takes see this is the beauty of men and women why we work well together. See, men are protectors. I'm a protector, and I'm a great bones to protect our women and children. Fucking around with that. I'm built to put some pain in your ass, you know. And it takes a man. When I went in that hotel, man, we watch. We're fierce
Mhm.
because the spirit, the great spirit, put that in us. We're fierce. And when a woman tried to emasculate us, you taking away that protection so that we
Mm.
can cover the protection so you can cover us. It works well together. But I saw that and I put it out there to let women know that if you're out there moving alone like that, you shouldn't be moving alone. You need to let people know where you stay. You need to have
Yeah.
some protection. You need to be mindful. And this is the beauty of why men we are here. so that you can protect us. And when you protect us, you can better cover the children and us, the whole family. The women does that.
So you were asking Sheikh Sharif if he would agree that programs were given to the woman purposefully or intentionally so that we wouldn't need men. And that's really hard for us women to accept, because it was even hard for me until I said, let me just shut my mouth. This is like in earlier years, and just listen to what men are saying. Let me just receive the information. And I thought, once they said that and I started looking around, I was like, wow, I can see it. So Brother Sharif, what are your thoughts on that? Sheik, excuse me.
Oh yeah. I definitely agree, because they actually had the programs where they would come around to check to make sure there was no man in the house. To have the apartment, in the projects and stuff like that. And so like it's like, come on, man, that's insane, And so
Right about that.
you get free room and board for not having a man, you know. And when you remove that social responsibility, so then it's like, people like, well, I don't need a man. What for, right?
Yeah.
And as the brother just said, though, there's a whole lot of other things that come into play, with there's reason why we actually do need women, and obviously there's a reason why we need men. Just like the way we think, we're automatically thinking about protection, just like you said, man. It's the same here.
That is so powerful that you said that, because you just took me somewhere I wanted to say. Listen, when they did that, and it really took effect, like in the 70s, the late 70s and 80s, a lot happened in the 70s and 80s.
Mm-hmm.
Here in Atlanta, when they divided that women and the women and the men, and that divorce started happening, and they took the men out the house in the late 70s and 80s, it's when these young boys came up missing in Atlanta.
Mm.
Do you remember that story? They came up missing.
Yeah.
And so they tried to, what's that guy name? John Wayne Gates? That Wayne something guy, they tried to pin the story on him, that he's the reason why these young boys were coming up missing. But what they didn't tell you guys is that when they were checking these young men between the ages of 12 to 15 or 16, that their testicles were missing.
Oh my God.
What they were doing is that when the prison population was booming in the 70s, and the purpose of why they were putting our young men in prison, because they were organ harvesting and they were taking things from them.
Mm.
Tuberculosis picked up in the prison system, so they couldn't get
Mm.
a natural resource from these men that you find in young boys when they hit puberty. That's a certain hormone that spikes up in their bodies, in their testicles. So when they found these young boys, the story that they didn't want to tell, when they found these young men, their testicles were removed.
Mm.
So they were trying to say, at first it was a Klan, then they tried to say that it was no, because their testicles were removed. And the reason that was happening, because they removed, everything was systematic. They said, let's get that man out the house because he's the protection. He's going to let that woman know, no, that's not safe. No, we're not going to have that. No, it's not safe. Because that's what I do. They remove the women so that they can come after our children.
Mm.
Yeah.
And they're doing it worldwide. And also, when they have these so-called natural events that's happening, they're snuffing out our men from prison. The men in prison are disappearing. When the so-called Hurricane Katrina happened, did you guys know that the men in the prison disappeared? Nobody know what happened to them? Did y'all know that?
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
We got to wise up so that we can rise up, guys.
Mm-hmm.
We got to come together, brother Sheep, like you said, as a cohesive unit. We got to come together. Like if I come to wherever you are, we linking up, we talking, and we talking about doing righteous things, and we got to get away with that. Or he's a Moor, or he's an Indian, or he this and that. Shut up. It's a spirit thing. I'm not offended. If you're Moor, you got dirty Moors, you got good Moors, you got dirty Indians, you got bad, you got dirty black folks, you got good black folks, you got dirty so-called white folks. I'm sick. Stop this separation, man. Let's come together as a human race.
Sorry, y'all.
Yeah.
Human race, man, and we can. I believe we can. When we do that right there, we're gonna be okay, bro.
Mm.
Agreed.
Absolutely.
Yep. Yeah. And man, there's never been a time where we were fearful of our own teenagers, all of our
Mm-hmm.
stuff moving the men out of the way. And then now you got the teenagers, that's terrorizing the neighborhood, and people scared of them, don't know how to deal with it. So it's we have to put the balance back in there, even if it's just small communities, of us doing that work, because man, it's all by design, just like you said, you know, and we see that just leaves the whole community vulnerable, and not just to attack with, because they are snatching people up, but just the mentally, we also just mentally vulnerable, because you got to have a masculine energy that's going to be saying, hey, nah, we not, no, we not going for that, this able to see, or at least looking at that with that vigilant mindset, that it's not all good. We can't trust everything that's being pushed to us, you know. So
Yeah.
we have to have that balance. There's no other way. That's really, that's what we believe, hardcore in.
But let me say this. This is so very important. Dr. King, I applaud you for having this conversation. It's so
Thank you.
very important.
Thank
Let
you,
me tell
Chief.
you this right here, and y'all need to hear this. I have a brother who's a principal at a prison for young men.
Okay.
Are you guys prepared for what I'm getting ready to say to you? My brother, when he goes to work, he has to be locked up like he's a prisoner because he's a principal of these young men between the ages of 14 to 17 or 18. And let me, t- let me tell you what they found out. I'm going to tell you what they're doing to our young men. And most of these young men come from single homes that have been raised by women. See, you'll have more of a balanced young man been raised, and a young woman being raised by his dad. I'm sorry, been raised by the mom.
Oh, statistics prove that children are more balanced and they do well psychologically, emotionally, and even financially when they become adults when they're raised by the father than when they're raised by women. There have been whole studies on this,
It's just, I'm
and it's
sorry, I'm
not just
sorry.
about the Black community. It's anytime,
Yeah,
anywhere.
yeah.
But I'm sorry, I yield the floor.
Because the man gonna bring more balance to Brew. And so what my brother told me, he said, they got these young men, they piping them in. First of all, when you put somebody in prison, the whole purpose of putting a young man in prison is to take capture of their ledger account.
Hmm.
You kidnap them, you put the real man in prison so you can charge the artificial man. So
The
when you
all
put
caps
you
man.
yes, the all caps name. So when you put them in that warehouse, which is the federal warehouse,
Hmm.
from your trust account, you're paying room and board and for 3 square meals a day
Hmm.
out of your trust account. So that's why they put us in those prison systems. And what I found out, we found out that these young men were being sodomized while they're in prison. They don't go outside for a whole month. They're in an old, dilapidated building. They got rats, roaches, mildew, and that building is getting paid like 40 or 50 million dollars a year from the
Wow.
state, so that it can really supposed to take care of these boys, but they're not taking care of these boys. They're pocketing this money in Chicago, and they're sodomizing these boys. They're beating them up, pulling their dress out, wearing the dress on their rings, doing all kind of
Oh
crazy
my
things. Then they let
God.
these boys back on the street as killers.
Mm.
These boys are angry and they're mad
Mm.
because we failed them. Because we're so busy worried about our own damn self and how many social media likes we got and uh, easily being gaslighted to the point you don't give a care about what's going on. And these boys are angry and mad and they would murder you dead because we failed them. And then they're putting these boys in this system, they're sodomizing them, raping them, pulling their hairs out, beating them up, and they let these boys back on the streets, and we got killers on the streets who don't give two rat asses about taking you up out of here.
Yeah.
That's what we got going on. They're
And
mad and
it's
angry. And it's gonna take real man to take these young boys and say, I'm sorry, man. We failed you, man. I know. I know. I got you, young man. I got programs for you. Let's go ahead and let's do. You like making music? Well, guess what? Chief Mack is a producer, and I play the piano. You want to work out, brother? Let me get you in the gym. Let's work out and take that stress off you. Let's release some endorphins, brother. Let's work out. Let's go. Let's go to these natural mounds to show you these pills. Let me tell you the truth about who you are, young man. You're somebody. You're special. Your blood is royalty. No, you're not black. No, you're not this. And it don't matter what color you are. Tell the truth.
Yeah.
About
And
who you are.
can I say something from a woman's perspective, Chief? I honor
Yes,
you
ma'am.
both. And we women, no matter what type of relationship we've had with the father, we need to make sure that those children have a relationship with their father. It doesn't matter if you think he's bad, if he's on drugs, if he's been to prison. You laid with him, you procreated with him. That is his father. That is your children's father, and these are his children. And now let me hear me out, okay? Because I've been separated, divorced, and then had to have my mind brought back to my proper senses and say, it doesn't matter what you went through. These children are suffering. And it is your job as a woman. Why is the onus always on the woman? Because it just is, to make sure these children have a relationship with their fathers. Being a teacher and an educator in the school system and a substitute teacher and educator, just a regular teacher, what I've noticed, a lot of these men are angry and a lot of these girls young boys are angry and a lot of these girls are promiscuous. And when you sit them down and ask them why, what's going on in the home, a lot of them don't even know who their fathers are. I don't even know. They say, I don't even know who my daddy is. Or they've been lied to, told their fathers were dead because the woman was angry. Then they found out the father was alive and now he's got a vengeance. He got a vendetta. Or the girl was looking for a male love when she could have had her father, but because we were angry, we kept them away. And now she's sleeping with everything walking and having sex in the schools. So as a woman, we're going to have to learn how to keep our emotions in check, be emotionally balanced, and think about the children, because the children are killing each other on the streets. I'm a teacher. They're disrespecting the teachers. They're spitting on teachers. They're fighting teachers. They're shooting teachers. There are some schools I had to remove myself from. The children loved me, but the element was the ones that didn't love me or didn't know me, I should say. I was in the middle of crossfires where sheriffs were in the building because the female teachers were unsafe. These babies are angry. They don't know who their daddy is. And a lot of us women think it's cute to tell a child when it's 18, oh, yeah, here's your daddy. Oh, yeah, the one I told you was your daddy. That's sick. And I'm angry about it because I've seen it happen with people I know. These children grow up so angry and hurt. We got to do a better job. And when you try to tell women this, you know what a lot of ladies say? Well, he's no good, or he's got this problem. But you the one that laid down and made a baby with him. So why don't you I hear feedback. I don't know what's going on. Why don't you keep your emotions in check and do what you can to go and bridge that relationship between the child and the father. And sometimes you have to even take accountability. And sometimes you even have to apologize, even if you think you didn't do anything wrong. You have to take accountability, have a conversation with your children and say, look, I know you're angry. I know, or even just sit down and say, I see that you're having problems in school. You're angry. Can you tell me about that? Why are you angry? What's going on? They will tell you. And even if they don't tell you, say, look, I know there's some trouble going on right now with us and this family. Your dad and I are not together. Maybe this is what I did. We left, and I didn't say why, because it wasn't their business. Children, some of y'all always saying my daddy was no good. Stay in a child's place. I don't care if you're grown. Stay in a child's place. What happened between mommy and daddy is their business. That's the problem. Y'all want to talk about mama and daddy did this and my grandfather had kids down the street. Stay in a child's place. That's none of your business. That has nothing to do with today and how you choose to show up in the world. So I had to sit down and say, listen, I know we're having problems. I take accountability for that. I apologize. I'm sorry. I should have done better. You know what I'm saying? Not even going into details of what happened. I apologize. Let's get this family in some order, and go to my husband, my children's father, and say, look, I know we had our issues because I got married at 18. He was 20. And, you just don't know what you're doing. and say, look, we made some mistakes, let's get it together for the kids' sake. Women, get it together for the kids' sake, and don't wait too late, because what if you weren't mature enough to make that relationship work, and then you split apart and he started another family? Now it's too hard to reconcile. You can still get them back together, with the relationship with the children, but it might be too hard to reconcile because now he started another family. Okay. But what I said, and everybody can't do this, is look, we need to get this family back together. Talk to my husband. Let's do this. Because at this point we had been divorced. I'm sorry. I sometimes, because this happened to my husband, I didn't speak to you the right way, and I had to take accountability. I apologize. We got to do whatever we can for this family. Let's bring this family back together. And we were able to manage that until he passed away. But some of the damage had been done. Ladies, don't wait too late. And what I mean by damage had been done is when a child grows out without daddy in the home, they go through psychological and emotional things that we couldn't even fathom. It doesn't matter that you being the daddy and the mommy, you working and you being the one that cooks the food and you know how to do everything right and the kid turned out all right. Not until you sit down and have a conversation with that child where you learn what they really went through emotionally and psychologically. Thankfully, I was able to salvage a lot, but some of the damage had been done. And forgive me if I'm disclosing too much. I just want to keep it real. Brother Sheik, I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, that's definitely what you're saying. I mean, that's just real. That's real life, and I'm sure a lot of us can relate. And I think one reason why we have so many problems collectively is because we don't really value ourselves. And if we don't really value ourselves, we don't value each other. We don't really believe that we have the answers. We don't really believe, like the women don't really believe that they can depend on the men to be leaders to get us out of this, situation that we're in, that they can trust us, they can listen to us and take an instruction from us. Don't believe it. They don't have confidence in themselves. So they definitely not gonna have confidence in us. And that has to be taken care of immediately, because if we don't believe in ourselves, man, nothing's gonna work. And that's really what it comes down to, though. No confidence in each other and not believing in ourselves. And since we don't have confidence in ourselves, we don't believe in each other. We don't think that we supposed to work and make that marriage, make that family work, no matter what. That it's a legacy. We're supposed to be building legacies. It ain't a legacy. It's just a baby mama. It's just a baby daddy. It's just a child. We just pushing out children like when dogs have puppies, And so we have to build legacy. We have to feel like we're valuable, we're important. We have to value each other, and I think that's the only way things work.
Absolutely. And you know who it was that told us this was that we need to take accountability for how we raised our children, how our children turn out. I'm grateful that I had a lot of good people around them, that my child's father and I worked together. And, we started a family school, his family did, and I worked in the family and, worked in the school, and we came to our senses. But it was the pastor of our church that told he was talking to the women. He said, some of y'all come to this church and laying on the altar crying and begging God to help you because your daughter's a whore. Your daughter's a whore because you are. Wow. And you were a whore before you accepted Christ. You're mad, you're crying and laying all snotting all over the pulpit and the altar because your son got murdered and your other son's in prison. You know why he is? Because you didn't let him have a relationship with his father. Oh, he went in. And some of y'all are mad because your daughter's got kids by 4 or 5 different men. Well, so did you. And you let all these men come in the house while you were big and bad enough to show that you were independent and lay with you all at night. And all your children saw that. So now they're doing the same thing. If you want to get some reconciliation, stop crying out to God. Wipe your nose, wipe your tears off your face. Stand up like a woman and go apologize to those children and take accountability and restore your family. Oh, the women
that was a sermon right there.
Oh man, they weren't angry. They weren't, who Bishop think he is? Okay, they weren't bold enough to say it in his face. But after church, they were like, who he think he is? And he can't tell me. And I did the best I could. And before that, before he even said amen and did benediction. He said, y'all gonna say you did the best you could, but no, you didn't. And I don't care if it was the best you could, you messed up. And that's why you're snotting all over my pulpit, asking me to slap oil all across your head every Sabbath day when you need to be a woman and go apologize to them kids and go back and restore that relationship with that man that you laid down and open your legs to.
Okay.
And I heard him say that, and I was like, you know what? But because I had, some sense, and I had my brother, and I had been married. I was, married at 18 because I had men in my life and a pastor, and so I understood male leadership. I said, yes, sir. Thank you, and that gave me the strength and the wisdom to go and restore my family. And some of you listening, my husband had another family because, hey, I mean, I left him. If the Bible says if you leave a man, he is not obligated to stay with you. Okay. Why I left is nobody's business. I left. He had another family. You know what I said? You know what? I got to have some sense about this. I love this man. I know who he married. I love these children. The woman that he's with, I had a conversation with her and him. Let's do this together.
Wow.
Let's bring this family together. You got 4 and he and I have 4. Look, sister, we got 8.
Did I make him my kid no more?
We got 8. Oh, because these kids are dependent upon it. Mine ain't gonna be out in the street shooting each other. Mine ain't gonna be in a prison. All praises to Allah, Muhammad, God, Jesus, whomever. None of them been in prison. They all graduated from high school with above a 4.0 GPA. They all went to academic scholarships, 4 or 5. They all either started businesses or got jobs. One is married, the others are looking into marriage. I'm the matriarch. I make sure I got order in my family. We have balance. Her children, my husband's second woman's, he had a common law wife. Her children call me Mama Kia because I was honorable and I was respectable to him, respected that he had another family, and I brought them all together under one umbrella. And did we all get along all the time? No, but who was the elder? Who was the matriarch? Who was the first wife? Okay. So it was my responsibility to make sure she had the tools to raise our 8 children, plus the 3 she had before him, our 11 children.
Kid, let me say this real quick. Let me say this real quick. What you did was commendable and was powerful. Your sacrifice created productive children to go out in society and create productive children again. The same thing my mom did. The woman sacrifices. Women on average live longer than men. Because of my mom's sacrifice, my mom had a lot of children. And we were treated unfairly by her other family members. We come out, okay, here come Ross with all those children, had the food, had this and had that. We still remember that. But guess what? Out of all of my mom had some sisters, and they were single women. I had 2 of cousins of mine spent a lot of time in prison. One of my cousins blew a man's head off because he wasn't around his dad. He had anger in him that she couldn't take care of. My cousin blew a man's head off when that was like 18 or 19. He just got out of prison like maybe 7 years ago. Did almost 20-something years in prison. I'm surprised they didn't even let him out. His older brother did time in prison, been shot and killed on drugs. Then the sister, taking another woman's husband, doing magic, and it turned on her, and she ended up being a crack addict on the streets. We didn't know what she was for 20 plus years. We just found her like 12 years ago, and we got her right now. So my cousin found her in the middle of Detroit, walking the streets, using her body. Because she didn't know who her dad was. She didn't have a man to love her, to hold her without trying to sleep with her. She don't know that feeling. And so my mom made those sacrifices. And all of my mom's children are alive today because of the prayers she put forth and the sacrifice she made. We wouldn't be who we are if it wasn't for my mom. Sacrifices, being married to my dad transition, not bringing a lot of different men around her children, dropping on her knees and head to prayer closet, praying and snot that night, says, protect my children. She did that. So you talk to a young man who saw a mom that dropped to her knees, and when her children would sleep at night, come and put some oil on and anoint each one of her children's head and pray and speak on them. That's what kind of home I came from.
1 second, Chief. Thank you. Sheik said he had to go. Sheik, excuse me, Chief. Sheik, did you want to give any final thoughts before you leave and let us know where we can follow your work?
Okay, just want to say gratitude to you for opening up the panel, the platform to me. Much thanks. I'm subscribed. I love what you're doing, the work you're doing. Brother Chief, I'm gonna send you a friend's request on Facebook. Appreciate you.
Okay,
You
sir.
both sharing wisdom, and it's much needed. And I think I just wanted to encourage you both with what you're doing. It has to be heard. This is what the community is crying for. They need to know the truth, and nobody else is really doing this work. It's only a handful of us. So just want to appreciate you both and give you your flowers for the great work
Thank
that
you.
you're doing. And I'm sure we can link up, and collaborate in the future. And I appreciate you. Gratitude for having me on.
And here's where you can follow his work. He is Sharif Ali on Facebook. And also, you're Moors in America. He is Moors in America. Let me see if I can find this. Moors
Oh
in
yeah,
America.
on YouTube it's Moors in America. You can just type Moors in America or Moors in America 7. That'll bring you to the YouTube. Also, website moorsinamerica.com. Have 2 books coming out this year.
Oh,
So just
awesome.
just go to moorsinamerica.com or go to the YouTube and you can get all that information.
And if somebody wants to send you a donation for your work to Moors in America, what is your link?
Cash App Moors in America. Just $ Moors in America.
All right, Chief. Thank you so much. We love you and I appreciate you. Thank you for coming on with such a short notice. And send your love,
All
send
right,
my
love
love
you
to your
both.
wife.
Peace and love to you and your families. Will do.
Peace
All
and
right.
love. Bye-bye.
Awesome. That was a good brother. This profile, this is what you're doing, Dr. Kid, is so needed amongst the people because
Mm,
you push on love and vibrations and high frequencies, man. Instead of this hate, we got too much people
too
pushing
much.
vile hate on the social, and you see what's going on. It's sickening, and this damn time for our people, for anybody to be pushing hate toward one another. It's too late in the game for that. It's too late. So what you're doing is so needed amongst the tribes and people. It's so relevant and so needed. And I believe that as long as we can come together like this, we can bring some remedy to the atrocious things that's happening. Right now, I'm in the gym working out. I'm working out. I mean, I'm getting my cardio in, and I want to encourage the people, the beautiful people, to get out there and walk, get some sun, exercise, guys, because our health is our wealth. Chief Mac knows some secrets. Out of all 7 of my brothers, I'm the only one that's still growing hair, and it grows like a chia plant. It ain't stopping. I mean, I don't take any medication. I give all praise to the Great Spirit, the ancestors, man, because I'm here for a purpose. I'm not here for myself. I'm here for a purpose. That's to help those who can't help themselves. And so the ancestors, the Great Spirit is going to put me in position because I want to just help bring righteousness on the earth. And so, I believe we're going to be able to do that. So I want to encourage you guys to exercise, work out, speak life over yourself, touch and anoint your body with your hands, because the body's not who you, it's not who we are. It's just a warehouse to transport the conscious. What the conscious is ancient. We've been here many different times. We got this house, and let's just be the best that we can be right now. Claim it today, speak it today, expect it. Said the wealth of the wicked is laid up for the just. We are the just. That the meek shall inherit the earth. We are those very meek. That we're
Mm-hmm.
going to go from last to first. That we're going to be the ones being the creditors, not the debtors. We're going to be the
Can I
ones
ask
being
you,
the. Yeah, go ahead.
excuse me for interrupting. Chief, is it important to men that women stay in shape or work out? If it is, why?
I'll put it this way. For me, any woman that lands this big hunk right here, you got to exercise and work out. Because most men who exercise and work out, if we take our clothes off, you're gonna like what you see. So can we like what we see? You know,
But we're big boned by nature, and
You can be
we,
big. You can be big boned, but just don't have, you can't have if your weight. Listen, you can be our women. Women come in all different shapes and sizes. They're beautiful, from tall to short, from light to dark. Women come, but it's more so about health. See, with me, if you don't work out, then your body's going to start dying slowly. I'll be 54, and because I have a history of exercising and working out, chronologically, my body's dead up at 30-something-year-old man. I start aging in my 30s
mm,
because there's a ritual that I do every day. I understand. I know that we need oxygen in our body because the air, the food, we need to turn our bodies from being acidic to alkaline. And
mm,
so when I see a woman who doesn't watch how she eats, how she looks, how she smells, how she dressed, for me, I just can't roll with that because I'm everything opposite of that. So it's very important. You can be big boned. Your bones ain't got nothing to do with having having fat on you. When a person has fat on, that creates a hormone imbalance.
mm,
When you don't sweat, that sweat that stays in your body causes the body to start rusting from the inside out. You start rusting, and you
mm.
don't live that long. And don't nobody want to be in a relationship with a person. They got to get in the relationship and then 3 years down the line, you're in the hospital with them.
But I've heard
So,
women say that men should just accept them for who they are and they're not changing for a man.
well, you're gonna be a lonely woman if you're gonna think that way, because I don't expect nobody to accept me for what I am right now. I'm always trying to increase and become a better man. And
Okay.
so that's why I am single today, because I'm not complete yet.
Mm,
I'm not complete building that big, giant, beautiful building yet. So
mm,
until I build that building to where I want, then I don't need to try to get a woman to where I am because she won't be who I want when I get to where I am, man. Come on, man.
mm,
So I'm staying single because I got work to do. I don't need to be in trying to worry about dating and being out there when I got work to do. Because that takes a lot of energy and vibration and frequency to really give your all to the person that you're with. And that's what type of person I am. So I'm staying single so I can complete the house the way it needs to be built. So when I
mm.
bring her, everything is set already. It's already set already. And so that's what we need to do. You know, so sometimes women to be single and work on themselves, become the best you can be. Because I know that once you do these things, you're going to attract what you're thinking and what you're feeling. You can call forth into existence what you think and you know to happen. You can call forth because I've been calling for things to happen for me, and life is beautiful for me.
Mm,
It's beautiful for me because
mm,
I'm speaking things into existence. I'm alive because I could be one of these people on the street that's homeless
mm.
and expecting to get a meal from somebody who I don't even know, who could be poisoning food that I'm eating.
That's right.
I got a car that's paid off, that's in my estate name.
Mm,
I got nice clothes. I'm not hurt for no meals. I'm 240. I'm healthy. I don't take it. I have a lot to be grateful about. And to wake up and rise up in the morning with hate on your heart, you tell the ancestors you don't care about having life.
mm,
To be angry and mad. If you have life in the morning, it's an opportunity for you to get it right and help somebody else. When you help somebody else, and we continue to do that, it's gonna be a full circle. It's gonna keep on hitting you and helping you out reciprocity. We have to do that, man. You got to be
excuse me,
mature. Stop
Chief.
acting. Go ahead.
Excuse me, Chief. Somebody asked me, I think it was Sister Bertha, what's your Cash App?
Oh, she
They
look at.
really support your work.
Yeah. I mean, it's Allen. It's a $ Allen Judah. That's ALLEN Judah. JUDAH 47.
And I know you
Um,
don't do this for money, but they're asking.
yeah.
She asked and someone
I,
else
I,
asked.
but for years, I've been out there with a streaking budget. I've been feeding the homeless, clothing them, and speaking life into it. And I wouldn't advise anybody to do that with the homeless because a lot of these people have spirits off on them.
Mhm,
It's not safe to do that. But these spirits know who I am. Listen, I was born on 666. Six
mm,
protons, neutrons, and electrons. Six times three is
mm,
18. One plus eight is nine ether. I was sent, and I understand it. And so I have worked through, I have been mandated to do a job. And I'm nobody special. I just answered the call.
Mm-hmm.
When are you guys ready to answer the call and stop worried about somebody else, stop focusing on the next man or woman, and then be your own ministry, be your own foundation, call things the ancestors, because you're not going to slip up and get some funds if you got hate in your heart. If you get any funds with hate in your heart, you're going to take your own self up out of here.
Mm.
So that's what I do. So I'm out there, and I know in doing that, when I get the wealth, I can have that queen of my life and anything that she wants. When she smiles, that makes me smile.
Mm-hmm.
It makes me, when I help others, it brings life to me. And until we all get like that, I believe this world, we can change the atmosphere in this world when we can do that. I believe
Mm.
it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, Chief. I think
Thank you.
this, you're welcome. I don't think, I know this conversation has been very helpful to our soul family, and it's much needed because we're moving into an era where we're going to have to rebuild this society, Chief. A lot of the illegal immigrants and migrants that were here, they're getting sent back home. And a lot of corporate leaders who were involved in trafficking of children, humans, and drugs, they're getting arrested and go facing military tribunals. So a lot of DEI programs that were in place in diversity, equity, inclusion, and all these programs, they're being done away with as the United States Incorporated is completely collapsing. So we're going to have
Wow.
to rebuild the whole society.
We are the
And
government. We're going to become the
we,
government.
we're going to become the government and chief in order to build generational wealth. Just based on my research and what I've observed, you need a foundation, which is the man and the woman working together.
You're correct. The man deal with the women, the man deal with the men, and the women dealing with the women.
Mm. Yes, sir. You have any? We've been on for over 2 hours. I know you're working out. My son just came back from the gym, so that means I can, I'm gonna go out now. I can go back to I can go out into the gym or take a walk. But I
Yes.
want to know if there's any final thoughts that you would have for the family.
Uh, family, let's hold each other accountable. Let's stop brothers and sisters, women against men and men against women, each other. Let's stop people from putting bad press out about each other.
Mm.
Let's not feed into that lower vibrational activity. Let's hold each other accountable and doing righteous things on the earth. Because we have been doing that for so long, it's why the enemy has been able to thrive, because we're so busy focused on them that we can't see what they're doing.
Mm.
And I'm sick and tired of it, guys. I am so sick and tired. I'm so sick and tired because when we do that, then our children suffer.
Yes,
White children, black children, Asian, we suffer because we're so focused on each other. And that's the whole job they did, was to keep us focused on each other, that we got peripheral vision only toward each other as each other's enemy, when he got the enemy that created the chaos for us to be enemy toward each other, so we can't see them and focus on them. Guys, we got to rise up so we can rise up, guys.
Thank you, Chief. You have a question before you go. This is our moderator. Thank you so much, Love being Nubian. I appreciate all the work you do to keep the chat moving and make sure there's nobody in here being oppositional. She says, Chief, understand when women have several children, the body changes. I don't see how that's fair to hold that against women.
I'm explaining this to you guys. It doesn't negate you have to work out. Find a way to exercise and work out. There's no excuse for that. Whether it's at home, you can walk outside. Find a way to work out. Get your children involved with it. Exercise and work out. Yes, I granted that it takes the woman body changing anatomically. It does. That doesn't negate the fact that you still can walk and exercise. We've been taught a lower vibrational way of life. We've been taught we've been taught the dead way of living. That means you eat in a way was taking life from you. You eating, you drinking, you're living in a way you have become a debtor. And debtors are dead people, and dead people can't be heard or seen. You gotta come out of it. You gotta take accountability. And when you take accountability, it doesn't feel good. Change don't feel good. It don't feel good. You got to same with me. I'm not making excuses. I want to be a better man, so I'm not making excuses for myself. I want to become the best that I can be to myself, to my family, to my daughter, and to my brothers and sisters. But I deal with them.
Yeah.
So it starts when you exercising and working out. It releases endorphins, guys. It's hard to be a negative, evil person when you're working out. I come here to work out to take all the pressure off of me. You take all those, when you're angry and mad and you got that stuff inside your body, the only way you can get it out is through working out, sweating. Get it out you. So that's why I work out. I can guarantee you the woman that I get, she gonna love what she has. She gonna love what she has because I'm in here preparing myself right now. I'm not making excuses for it right now. I'm putting in the hard work. It don't feel good to come in here and train and exercise and work out. Don't feel good. But change for the better don't supposed to feel good because if it did, a lot of people would be doing it. So those sacrifices that you said, Dr. Kid, that you made, that my mom made, and the sacrifices that I'm making right now is just not myself. It's for the humanity. It's for the betterment of all people who will operate in a righteous way. Get out there and move something. Exercise. I believe if you do it, sister, start small and start building up. It gets easier and easier the more you do it. I'm rooting for you. Let's do it. We're going to start something on here together. We're going to work on each other's health.
Because you're a trainer.
Yeah.
You were a celebrity trainer.
Yes.
And you competed.
Yes. So that's a product out there. If anybody is having difficulties with their body organs and anything, I have a product that I start using that's going to give you all kind of energy. It's a natural product. If you're interested, you can reach out to me. A natural product that can help as we get older. Our body loses the ability to produce this stem cells to keep our organs and everything young. I've managed to keep mine up and going through working out for all these years. My body started aging slowly. So over the years, we've been in our 40s, late 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s. Our organs took a hit based on the bad food that we ate that's filled with acidic, which means low in oxygen. So our body starts starving and rusting. The bad air and the water we're drinking is acidic. So there are things, a natural product that you can use, and this is what I do. This is why I don't look my age.
Okay.
You know, I don't move around. I'm 240 pounds. I can run like a fullback. I got a lot of strength, and so I can give you guys the financial, but the health forecast on how to preserve your body, your mental capacity, the whole 9 yards. I have products I take, health products that I can turn you guys on to, that but give you a good quality of life, guys.
Yeah, we're gonna have to talk about that, Chief, because you talking, I'm like, yeah, I might have to go on and do what you asked me to do to come under you with that business.
Yeah.
Because
So
Chief told me you got to get yourself in. Because I got to meet Chief. He was like, you look good, but you got to get yourself in the gym and stay fit. It used to be a time, ladies, when it was the older women that did not allow us to get heavy. I remember as soon as we had a baby, the older women said, nurse the baby, breastfeed them, because when you breastfeed the child, the uterus shrinks. So we breastfed our children and we lost weight very quickly. And they also told us to walk and to wear, I don't want to show too much, what I have on now, a waist trainer. What you call these waist trainers?
Okay, yeah.
Waist trainer. And women wore corsets and girdles and waist. When I had my first child, I got married at 18. I had my first child at 19. We wore waist trainers. We went walking. My girlfriends and I, because a lot of us in the church, we got married at the same time, at same age. We went walking together. We did aerobics in the home. Remember those VHS tapes with those, where they would Jane Fonda and all them different people and Billy Blanks or Shaniqua down the street that made a tape. We would work out at home every day. And within 6 to 8 weeks, our body shape snapped right back, because the women told us, just like you look good for that man to get you, you got to look good for him to keep, for you to be able to keep him. Nowadays, women say, I ain't doing all that, I'm not working. Not love being, I'm just saying, because our bodies really do change. So it takes extra work. I know I've given birth 4 times. So we walked, we worked out, and the women told us, your body's going to change, but that doesn't matter. He still got eyes. He wants to be able to come home and still see you looking shapely. He wants to come home and still, feel that your body is toned. And my husband used to tell me, Key, you look good to just have, drop my baby. I need you to just tone this up here. And I wasn't offended.
Yep.
For one, I had grown up with my husband, so I think people, they meet strangers and they get married, and people on the internet. I married somebody I grew up with, and I understood the voice of a man, the authority of a man. I wasn't offended. I didn't think that he was trying to be mean or nasty. If he said, Key, he called me Key, you look good, just tone this up right here. I was like, okay. I get on the floor and do some sit-ups and some squats and all that with my girlfriends. So I'm just saying that your husband tells you, men tell you what they need, ladies. It's just like qualifying for a job. I know we don't like to hear this, but look, the men do the asking. Okay. We grant access to XCX. Okay. We have to give them permission. And that's powerful. That's beautiful to be the steward of your body. We're the ones that be able to say, which seed comes through the portal. We'll choose, say, yeah, he's the right one. I want his seed to come through this portal. That's powerful. But men grant access to relationship. And when I mean my relationship, I'm talking about marriage. They ask for your hand in marriage. So if you want to qualify for marriage, you have to know what it is they desire. And you have to listen. Becky is working out. It's still like this. Maria is working out. They're told what they need and what they desire, family. If we wanted a job, when I was in the workforce, I did everything to qualify for the job. Look, but see, I didn't just look at a job and say, I want that job, let me qualify. In my younger years, my mama said, you're gonna need to qualify for it to take care of yourself if you don't get married. So she put certain skills and things in me. My mother trained me how to sit and have good posture. My mother made me walk from one end of the room with books on my head so that I can stand straight and keep my tummy tucked in. My mother taught me how to speak pleasantly so that I could attract a man and keep a man. My mother taught me how to cook, how to clean, how to take care of children. My grandmother taught me how to be elegant and graceful. And then I went on and just studied the women in my community. I even read books. I even read books on how to raise babies. I even had a hope chest. They used to do that back in the day, where everything was in that hope chest that prepared you for being a wife and a mother. I had pictures of my dress. I was a teenager, a young child. What the dress I wanted, I had baby names in the chest. I had books that taught you how to cook, how to clean, how to take care of children. I had all those skills and tools. But now what you have is women, after you've lived your whole life, you've gotten all your degrees, we've had children by men we didn't like, some of us, we've done all these things. Now we're coming to the table saying, what must I do to be married? And the men are saying, I need this, that, and the other. And we're like, no, I'm too old for all that. I ain't feel like doing all that. And now we're coming to the table and saying, I need a job. What must I do to qualify? Well, you want to work in the doctor's office? You should have been preparing at 6. All I'm saying is there was a time when the women in the community prepared the ladies from the time we were children all the way up to when you were marriageable. And it wasn't so hard to receive from a man what they need. But some of us, we didn't have that training, and that's okay. But now men are saying, I need a fit woman. Kevin Samuel said it best. Women don't like him, but he said men like fit, femininity, and friendliness. That's simple. If you ask me, maybe I'm making it too easy, but if they're telling us what they want, so let's get out and start moving. Let's start walking. I lost 25 pounds last summer just by walking, not just by walking and by doing and by fasting. So people call it intermittent fasting. I might fast for 24 hours, then I might eat and I might fast. But my mom, again, my mother raised me from the time I was a small child to fast and to watch what I eat. We were vegans when I was growing up. You know, she did start introducing meat in our life later on, but I always went back to eating lots of vegetables and fruits, and that's where I am today. I'm a vegetarian. I have been for a long time. But all I'm saying is, family, the young women used to train us: keep your body fit, be friendly, be feminine, and I'll end with that. Back in your hands, Chief.
Yes, let's get out there and do it. That's good. We're gonna start doing some segments where we motivate people and inspire people. I put together training regimens for people. When you have any type of health conditions like that, there are some new things being open to the public right now because there's going to be a lot of new wealthy people. So they talk about the med beds, the hyperbaric oxygen chamber, a natural product that helps the body rejuvenate stem cells to keep the body young.
Mm,
So these are things that I can talk to you guys. These are things that I execute while I'm still healthy. Don't take any medications. Stop aging. Keep your hair growing. Reverse things that's going on with the body, the kidneys, the liver, the heart, the gallbladder. These things have been traumatized by the foods that we're eating. So I know ways and things that you can do to go in there and restore it. So those of you who are interested, you can talk about the Till. You and I, we'll talk because
okay.
uh, your health is so very important. I don't care how much wealth you have. If your health is not in place the way it needs to be, then you don't really have a good quality of life. So if you want to
Mm,
live longer, I'll be 54 in a few months, and I'm looking, with the great spirit that I can live to be into my hundreds. And technically, we were supposed to live up to 400 years old.
wow.
But ever since we had these lower vibrational entities that came to our earth, they brought death to our earth.
Mm,
Now the
mm,
earth, she's sick and tired, and the galactic family is here to bring peace and harmony and balance to those who are operating in it. So you got to operate in trust. You can cause anything to happen in your life, good or bad, based on how you think and your perception
mm,
of life. So let's get
mm.
out here, and working out is a way to just jumpstart that, guys. So Dr. Ken and I would talk, and we would have a segment where I can bring things to you guys that can give you a better quality of life. But I've been having people call me who've been having some health issues,
Yes,
and
yes.
yeah, a lot of people have been saying they're having health issues. I didn't, which I knew they were out there, but now people are calling me saying they're having health issues, and there are things we can do instead of taking another route, going to them hospitals, and they wait on you there so they can even take you up out of here and get your organs, man. So here we're talking. We'll eventually do a segment. We'll bring some things out to you guys, some things that you can't do, and we're not saying cure. And this is entertainment purposes only, guys. We're just trying out different things, that can help bring a better quality of life, guys.
That's right. And people are asking how they can support you, or where to send a cash app. Thank you all so much for listening to this podcast. To support um, Chief Mac, you can send him a cash app to $Allen Judah. That's ALLENJUDAH 47. And you can follow him on Facebook at Judah Allen. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And he also has a YouTube channel. What's your YouTube channel?
I said Chief Mac. They put up Chief Mac. You see, I got some pretty interesting things on there. I'm going to start dropping more videos and things on there. I talk
Oh,
about
good.
anything between ancient Tartaria, these ancient castles here in America, preferably here in America, which Georgia is actually a country. The state of Georgia is not a state; it's a country. It's the actually real country. And Atlanta is actually Atlantis. We got ancient pyramids all over Georgia, and a lot of them here in Atlanta. In Tennessee, you got I passed up so many pyramids right on 75 North. It's just amazing. So I got all this stuff telling you that America is actually true East. This is not the West. This is ancient
Mm,
Kemet. This is Jerusalem. This is the Holy Land. This is all of that. America is not a country, but a continent from North, Central to South America. They know
wow.
they named it Turtle Island because the turtle is the oldest land animal known to man, and it
Okay.
rose above the floods of the water. So America is the ancient land. She is the ancient land that all life started here in America, and everything branched out. The whole world was underwater. The land masses were underwater, and
Mm,
America was that they call America, which is the true East, was the first land to re-emerge from the great floods.
wow.
So it sees the ancient land, And the ancient people who rose with her is you and me. The indigenous of this land birthed us out of her.
Mm-hmm.
There's something
Mm-hmm.
called the flesh pit in Texas. We rose out the flood first, and then as this is the first land, and then as the other lands start coming out the floods, then the people from here start traveling to the other lands.
Mm.
Yep. As indigenous people, the original Asians were Asiatic, so-called black. The original Australian was the Australian so-called black people. The original Europeans were so-called black people, and we started, and the other nations were birthed from us, guys. So this is the truth, guys. I go over all that. It's good to know the truth about who you are, where you come from, so you can have clarity. So I'm just interested in the truth, guys.
And can some people, thank you, Chief, can some people use some of the health products that you have if they've
Oh,
had problems after birth? Because Love Being Nubian says she know women who had health issues after having birth. So I'm wondering if your products could help women that
yes,
had.
yes, yes. That's a lot of women suffering from low energy. Low energy. This product gives you all kind of energy. I feel so good today, man. When listen, when you exercise and work out, you feel so good. Your body. I just did like 30 minutes of cardio. I'm about to go back in and do some resistant training. They got a whirlpool, a dry
Mhm.
sauna, a heated pool. In the LA Fitness, it's the best gym. Per buck. And so I get in the dry sauna because when you get down, you sweat, you're releasing toxins. There's certain
Mhm.
people when you don't sweat, you get all this gook trapped inside your body, and that's why your organs are all damaged and clogged up because you need an oil change. Just like you
Oh,
give a car an oil change, your body needs an oil change because your liver's clogged up, your kidneys are clogged up, your gallbladder's clogged up, your arteries are clogged up, and when you clogged up, you're not getting the right amount of oxygen in there. You have headaches because your brain is not getting oxygen in there. You're feeling all lower vibrational because your body's highly acidic. You eating all this meat. You're not putting you're not putting no green leafy vegetables and fruits in your body. Was It's like electrolytes feeding your body. You have a living organism, and you feed it dead food and flesh.
mm,
Your
mm,
body's a living organism that need these red Vidalian onions, need grapes, need blackberries, blueberries, strawberries, raspberries. You need these green. You need the green source that come from plant is like plant plasma. It's like plant blood. And you need
mm,
to put that in your body so that your white blood cells can come to life to fight off the entities, small microscopic demonic entities in your body wreaking havoc on your body. This is not who you are. It's a warehouse.
mm.
That's the seed of the soul, this the conscious travels in this house. And you can change this by how you speak life over it and then what you eat and exercising and working out. So this is what we have to do. I can guide you the way.
Oh, right. And we
Guide
look
you the way.
forward to that, Chief.
Mhm.
I look forward to you coming back and helping us with workout regimens. I don't know if you're open to if the people want to contact you for a consultation and actually doing a workout regimen for them or coaching them for
Yeah.
fitness because I know you're busy, but maybe we can talk about that later on.
But Dr. Kia, a lot of people don't realize, I think about 5 months ago, you and I talked, and I said, Kia, get in the gym.
You did.
The thing that I do, I can't help but do it. If I look at a person, I critique a person like I critique myself.
Mm,
So I like to bring the best out of the person. I look at the person. I'll say, see, I'm a pretty sharp dressing guy. I like to dress nice. And my mom said, I don't want no dirty looking children. I don't want no sons, no dingling arms, no little small dingling arms. You're gonna go and you're gonna work out. I'm gonna have some big boys around me. And she was proud to the day she transitioned to have these big boys and her little video 5'4" self walking around these guys 6 feet above with muscle. And she said, look at my boys. Look,
mm,
this what I did right here. This is me. They
mm.
look good, they sharp, they're about their business. And all of my brothers and sisters are entrepreneurs in their own right and they're doing things, and I'm proud to call them my brothers and sisters. You know,
That's Chief Mac. Just
yeah,
one of his outfits looking sharp.
yeah. I'm okay. I just like when you dress nice and you feel good. You do effort, you
Yes.
exercise and work out, you feel good. And I'm into helping people and innovating, inspire, and motivate people to be your most amazing self, man. That's what I do.
Mm,
And so working
mm,
out is just one aspect of it. You got to change how you eat and stop eating all these dead foods, these sugary foods, and start eating food with life and speak life over yourself. Touch your chest, touch your heart. And while you're eating healthy, the damage that's been done to your body, they have products out here that can go in there and rejuvenate your body. And that's what I'm doing. And, Dr. Kid and I, we're going to join together in doing that. And we're going to bring it to you guys when you're having issues going on. There's some things that's out there to help right now, guys. People are going to start living longer, living healthier, more prosperous life. We're going to have funds to do what we want to do, and we're going to live our most amazing. It's coming, but we got to prepare for what's coming.
Yes, sir. I'm just showing a couple pictures.
That's a nice thing. That's pretty. That's like we call that rust.
That the color is rust.
It's rust, yeah. You feel good when you dress nice. All my brothers dress nice. We feel good. Get out there and speak life with yourself. Get out there and have fun, guys, and be excited, guys, and speak an abundance over yourself, man. And I've done these things. I'm only telling you what I've done, and it's coming to fruition.
Chief, can I play this song that you played on your birthday? Is that allowable on YouTube?
I mean, yeah, because it's my creation, so it's my creation.
Do I have your permission?
Yes, you have my permission.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Thank you.
find
Go ahead.
Find ways to release endorphins. So I got a lot of different ways. When I'm feeling down and out, I work out. I'll play the piano. I speak life over myself. I go to the park and get some sun. I look at the ancient Tartarian structures all around Atlanta and more, and it just gives me an overall good feeling, man.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Chief. I want to. Maybe we can go out with this. Should I show also the one with the birds eating out of your hands, or is this one sufficient?
Oh, that one's sufficient.
Okay. And then, yeah, you got to go back in the gym. So family, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you. Again, if you want to support Chief Mac work, you can find him at Judah Allen on Facebook. You can find him at Chief Mac on YouTube. And his Cash App is $Allen Judah 47. We'll come back on with Chief Mac so he can share more information about the work that he's doing and talk about consultations, getting in the gym, he was a champion and what do you call it?
Bodybuilding. I won Miss Atlanta. I won all kind of trophies and awards, and I actually used to work with LA. I was the one of the top sales manager for LA Fitness. I got awards and plats. When it comes to dealing with people, I've been around. My job is knowing how to deal with people, and you got to truly love people, and people can really feel that. And so, so when it comes to health, if you at our age, our bodies really taking a down spiral if you're not doing anything. So we got to go in there. I know ways to go in there and build up strength in your bodies. With any type of condition you have, I can give you a physical and forecast on things you need to do to help the ailments that you're facing. I've had over 35 years of experience when it comes to working out, exercising, proper nutrition, diet, holistic and so I have a lot of experience in it. So those who need these things, it'll be a consultation just to make sure you're serious about what you want to do. I can direct you the right way.
And you said you were. I've learned that you were a celebrity fitness trainer.
I've trained many different celebrities. I've trained professional athletes. They just looked at me and just knew that this brother looked good right here. Brother looked good. I know you know what you're doing. And I had an older brother that trained my brother and I when we were like 14 and 15. And it made me so strong that the guys my age and peers that were like 2 and 3 years old, they couldn't do anything with me. I was so strong. I was good in grappling and wrestling. I played all sports. I was very successful in track, football, basketball. I was very athletic. Even today, at being 240 pounds, I can hit a flight of stairs like I'm young. I can burst up them stairs and come down quick, man. And it feels good to be able to do that in your 50s. Now I got a product I use that's even giving me more energy, more energy to be able to do what you want to do and you have these. I sit back and I watch the wealthy. I watch these people in Atlanta that's living in these $8, $9, $10 million estate. I watch the way they live. They have a dog. They walk every day. They don't eat sugary foods and all this sugary foods and all this heavily carb. They eat salads, and they're methodical on how they eat on purpose because they know
Mm,
they're trying to live their most amazing life as long as they can. They don't have any bills because that stress you out. The mortgage is they don't have
mm,
a mortgage because that stands for that's putting a curse over yourself. Mortgage means death. You know,
mm.
I watch them. They eating healthy. They take plenty of trips. Everything is paid for. They know how to operate in trust. They're happy and they stay away from lower vibrational people. They don't like to be around debtors.
Ooh,
I'm sorry.
mm.
I'm
Let me
sorry.
just show you. Go ahead. This is
Okay,
this
so
is you, one of your pictures. Can you see that too?
yeah, I see it. I was pretty in good shape right there.
Say it again.
I was pretty
You
in
in
good
good
shape right there.
shape. And I'm gonna show just so people, I mean, like they can tell that you work out just by looking at you now, but I just want to show that like you really about that life.
No doubt.
Here's another picture of you right here. This is one
I
of your
would love,
competition pictures.
yes, I would love to have that 8 pack again.
I saw you wrestling with this guy on your page, and this
Yeah, he was
guy,
a
I guess he was some type of wrestler. Like I don't know if he
he
was
he he, he
professional.
was he was a state champion. He was a state champion, and I'm an older guy, so he's a lot quicker. But he felt how strong I was. He was like, "No, man, no, you strong, man." He felt the power in my arms and my back like that. But it just felt good to be. I'm found in what you would call an OG. That's one of my
Hmm.
pictures I was modeling right there.
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what we're dealing with. So, I hear women, some women say there are no good men. Where are the good men? The men that work out, men that do this, that, and the third. And I'm like, there are men that are in shape, that have businesses, that have good sense about them, that pay their bills, that help the community. But you have to have the energy as a lady to attract, to see, and to attract that type of energy to yourself. So here you go, Chief. We're gonna close out with your creation, your song.
That
I know you
song,
got.
if you saw it, I'm playing the Baby Grand. That's one of my old time favorites. It's called "Tender Love" by Force
Okay,
MDs that I'm playing.
okay. Let me get to it. Oh,
Yeah.
see, I must have lost it. Hold on 1 minute. What's it called?
"Tender Love" by Force MDs. "Tender Love."
Okay,
It came out in
it's
1983 or '84. My all time,
mhm.
one of my all time favorite R&B songs.
Okay. Let me. Okay, I'm pulling it up now. Hold on. Sorry. Let me. You guys. I'm going to end with this, family. Thank you all so much for joining the show. Chief has to go and work out. Thank you, Chief, for being
Thank you, thank you.
of our show, for being part of the Soul family. You are the chief of the Soul family. We appreciate you so much. All right, family, we're going to end with this. Please enjoy this creation by Chief Mac. Here we go. All right, family. I hope you enjoyed that. That is our own Chief Mac. Follow him on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. And we will also make sure that, he will bring him on often so that he can show us how to eat think, and be physically fit as we go into the golden era. Chief had to go back into the gym to finish his workout. I don't know if he's coming back on, but we appreciate you so much. And for those of you who asked, you can send him a donation to Judah, excuse me, $Allen Judah 47, $ALLEN. Let me see if I can find it. JUDAH 47. So that's about it, family. Chief, anything you're about to leave? We're about to leave. I just wanted to close out.
Hey, hey, live
Yes, sir.
your most amazing life, guys. Be happy, guys. It's going to get better. You have the ability to change yourself. You're your own God. Once you know these things, you can become who you want to be and change. Become the victor over being the victim. Yes, I've done it. Become the victor over being the victim. Take accountability. Speak life over yourself. And watch life change for you. It's changing for me. Don't worry about what people saying. Just do you guys. Do you. I promise you. We're in an amazing time, and I see a lot of wealthy people. I see us coming together in our Bentleys and Rolls Royce, man, and shopping. If the shoes ain't biting, we ain't gonna be loving and we helping people, man. That's what time this believe it and know it. It's gonna happen. So that's why I am with you guys.
Yes, sir.
I'm making preparation because I'm in the gym right now. So make preparation. We'll talk, guys.
All right. I love you, Chief, and I'll talk to you soon. Family, we love you so much. Thank you for joining the show. Thank you for supporting the show and supporting our work at $Mama Kia, MAMAKIA 13. Thank you for supporting Judah Mack, Chief Mack, excuse me, at $Allen Judah 47. And thank you for supporting our other guests that we had on the show, Brother Sharif Ali, whose job or his work is to help the Moors in America. You can support him at $MOORSINAMERICA. That's $Moors in America. Having said that, family, we hope that we said something to raise your vibrations and inspire you to create the most amazing, magnificent life you desire and deserve. Go out and make this a great day. We'll come back later and talk to you and bring you some more good news. Peace.
Peace, peace, peace.
Peace. Bye, family.